prison lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan, we're on tour. We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know what? It's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These prison lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan, we're on tour. F1, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know what? It's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only bend down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan, we're on tour.
I'm not a hatch.
All right.
I'm a Coop fan.
You're hot.
I do.
We're live? Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys
Good
enjoying the
morning.
day so far?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's cold out.
It's nice and cold.
It's a little chilly.
And a little foggy. It's like
very
perfect
foggy.
for like the time of year, the spooky month.
Yes.
It is very spooky outside. It's very foggy, very chilly. What's the temperature? It's like
37
degrees.
I don't even know. What is the temperature right now? Let's see. 48 right now.
Well, and then
That's warmer than
track conditions this morning have definitely been a little bit different than what everyone's been used to, right? So the track's a little bit cold, a little wet. It's made for some good practice laps.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
And it's going to change so much. And it's going to be very different from practice.
Yes.
Because
And
we should be warming up to like, what, 65 here?
I think so. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, this layout today is completely different than what we've done all weekend.
Right.
And also the drivers have had way less practice this morning.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
Only 20 minutes.
Only like 20, 25 minutes at this point. So we're going into a new course. We switched it up and threw everybody a curveball. So you guys on the stream will get to see the layout here soon once we
backwards.
start sending drivers. Yep, it's backwards.
It's backwards.
It's tight, it's technical, and it'll be interesting to see how everybody adapts to it throughout the morning. And also there's gonna be a drastic change in temperature outside. And because of that, the track temperatures are gonna change as well. So drivers are potentially gonna have to make adjustments in tire pressure, adjustments in suspension potentially, and really try to dial in their vehicles very quickly on the fly in order to smoothly execute throughout the day.
Well, then we should see, with it being the championship, we're going to see some really good driving today.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
Everybody's going to be
I mean,
putting 100% out there.
absolutely. We got a great prize on the line, so we're going to really see people not only adapt, but really like take it up a notch. And we've already seen some great driving this weekend.
Absolutely.
Like, it's been good. So I can't wait to see these championship battles, because it is going to be.
We're just going to be enjoying the show, honestly, all day. Like, as spectators, right? Like, we're just going to be having fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, like yesterday, I mean, the 215 class was great. 235 finals yesterday was nuts.
Oh, yes.
That was
those were
amazing.
It was just like almost like perfect lap after perfect lap after perfect lap.
I wouldn't have wanted to be a judge.
No, I'm so glad I'm not in the judge's seat.
I volunteered my husband to be a judge today. But one of the judges from yesterday is driving the finals today, and they needed a judge. And I was like, well, let me ask my husband. And he was like, sure. So he's out there. So I don't envy him today. I'm glad I'm here, not him. Don't want to do that.
And the judging has changed a little bit for today. So we have 3 judges. One judge is judging lead car, one judge is judging chase car, and one judge is judging style.
Nice.
That's normal.
I know that's normal, but we were doing it a little different
The only
previously, right?
difference is we have 2 different people.
Yeah,
We've
there's
definitely
new
not-
judges.
I don't think it's ever been clarified.
It wasn't
out loud,
clarified earlier
at
this
least to the
weekend.
spectators,
Correct. Correct.
So
Yeah.
definitely, I think that's a fun way to do it. I was like really excited to hear
Well,
that.
and then it allows you to kind of dial in your focus. So I did,
Right.
earlier this year, I did judge A group.
Oh, you
which
did. I
was-
do remember that.
I did. So that's what we did. We said, you're going to judge lead, you're going to judge chase, like, so that we could really focus in on that aspect and then be able to kind of score them in each corner. It was really good.
And it helps so not everybody's having the wrong focus in the right place.
So I think it's a great way to judge.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a judge sport. I
Yep.
don't envy the judges because
No.
it is subjective, right?
It is.
As much as you are fair and watching, there's still a subjective component. So
Absolutely. And there's
lost
so
Casey.
many factors that come into play as well. And, many different drivers. Everyone has a different style. Everyone has a different input and a way that they think that things should go and be executed.
Yep.
And so it can definitely be difficult to have a black and white, to try to be as transparent and black and white as possible.
absolutely.
Sorry.
Oh,
I actually just got a call. Do you have a stud for your Z? Like an extra stud?
like a wheel
Could you
stud?
spare one
Probably.
for
Why?
somebody that needs one right now?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Can you
I'll be
go?
right back.
Thank you.
Do I need to go find
Wait,
Courtney?
leave your microphone.
Oh, shit.
Thank you. Nate Pena broke a stud, I guess. So if you've got an extra one, that would be
Oh, no.
superior. Thank you so much. Call Courtney. I will. She's the one that called me. Oh, perfect. That's the thing about drifting, right? Is like,
Yes.
like we're gonna make it work.
Yes.
Like whoever it is, we're gonna make it work. Like 100%. I'd rather see somebody drive than like just not be able to drive from a stud. Like,
Yep.
and so anybody out there is just like gonna help anybody.
And that's the amazing thing about grassroots and getting into, even in competition. I'm not even just going to say grassroots, because every drifting competition, every drifting event that I've gone to, if something happens to somebody's car, there's 5 other people willing to help out
Your
and to source
competitors.
parts. Your competitors, right? I mean, I've seen crew from one team go over and help a car and fix that car, and then those 2 teams end up battling.
Right, literally,
Yep.
like that happens often. I mean, it happens literally to the level of FD.
Yep,
Like
exactly.
literally in like pro FD, I've seen that where like literally one of the drivers is putting hands on another driver's car to help out. You don't want to win because of a lame,
No,
they
no, you
couldn't
don't.
make it to the line.
And I feel like you don't really get that camaraderie in many other motorsports whatsoever. I feel like drifting is kind of like one of the friendliest things in terms of pits and drivers helping drivers and trying to keep the show rolling.
There's so much like love in the pits.
Yeah.
Like when you're walking through the pits, like anybody's gonna help you. Like they just want to see you out there.
Right, and at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun.
Yeah.
We're all here to go out and turn laps and learn and progress. And you can't do that if your car's broken.
Right.
Or if your homie's car's broken, you want to drive with your homie.
Right.
So like you might as well help your homie fix his car so you guys can both go out there and have fun and push each other.
Right. Yeah. It's just nice to see. It's like nice to
Yeah.
see how much everybody just like loves each other
Mm-hmm.
in this sport. I'm not as like intimate in other motorsports, but
Mm.
I genuinely feel like this is like just the most camaraderie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so fun.
I agree.
It's the best.
Oh.
And it's nice when there's like, the same kind of car out there and you're like, hey, this is who I need to call. This is what I need. Like, hey, can you help me? Like,
Right. Let's check on the stream real quick. We got a handful of y'all that have joined in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are the Ultimate Drifting Challenge out here at Pikes Peak International Raceway in Colorado. If you missed out previous streams, Friday, Saturday, we did 2:15 on Friday, 2:35 on Saturday. And today, being Sunday, we're doing the finals, overall regional finals for 2:15 and for 2:35. So we've done 9 other events, and the cumulative points and drivers from those 9 events have now placed into the finals today. And up first is going to be 2:15. I believe we have, let me double check that driver count real quick. We've got 14 people, minus I think 2. I think we have 12 drivers in 2:15 today. And then we will have about 10 drivers in 2:35. So pretty decent field. Everything is going to go very quickly today. For reference on kind of like stream schedule format, we have essentially two classes today, 2 run groups. So we've got 2:15, 2:35. We're running both comps today. Some people have been kind of confused on how we're going to do 2 comps in the same day. Well, when we do just 2:15 or just 2:35 in one day, and let's say we have 20 drivers, we split them into 2 groups. We've got A group and Z group. And so we're essentially doing 2 comps. Even though they're in the same class, we're running 2 run groups. So translate that over to today, instead of doing an A group and Z group, we're doing 2:15, 2:35. The only difference is we're going to have 2 finals instead of 1 final. I hope that makes sense. And also, if you're tuning in and if you're unfamiliar with the format and with the bracket and how everything works in UDC, it's not necessarily a traditional drifting competition to where it's a top 32 style bracket, and also where drivers are kind of, halting on grid and starting and stopping at the start line for each run. How we're doing it is basically we have heats. We'll do 2 heats, and the drivers will go out for their first heat, and they can get 5 battles per heat, up to 5 points if they win their battle. And if there's a tie scenario, it can be 2 points for a tie down or 3 points for a tie up.
What's the difference? What is a tie up and tie down?
So like a tie up is like, instead of doing a 1 more time, there'll be a tie up.
Right, so they both did great.
They both did great. They're both going to get 3 points. They're not going to get the full 5 points because we don't do 1 more time. They're going to get 3 points.
Tie-up.
A tie up, right. And if it's a close run, but it wasn't, fully quite there, then they will then get
Large
2
mistakes
points.
on
Large
both
mistakes
parts.
on both parts, exactly. So we're not going to give out 0 points necessarily.
So basically, if in a traditional drift comp, they would both get 0s.
Right.
But we're not doing that here.
Right.
We're doing everybody gets points if you get a run.
Exactly. And that helps stimulate the bracket. So instead of doing like a top 32, you're doing an accumulative points-based system, and we're hot lapping. So like the drivers will go out and stage, and they will start at the start line. They'll get sent down the track. And instead of stopping and restaging to switch positions, there's a bit of a gentleman's agreement speed zone around the last turn coming down the straightaway, to where the drivers will naturally flow around that turn, switch positions, give each other a little grace, and then get back on throttle and just continue the second half of their battle.
And we've got like a cone expectation to where, hey, this is the gentleman's zone,
Yep.
where we're not just going to
Blow the doors off, right.
Yep, we're not going to gap
on the
you.
other
We
side-
want to see a good clean battle. We don't want to see just one car gap the other car, and
Right.
there's no room for catching up.
Right, it's not
What's the fun of
necessarily a
that?
drag race. Exactly, it's not fun to watch when the lead car just blows the tires off and smokes out the chase car and leaves them a football field behind. Like, you
Right.
don't want to see that. Have a little bit of grace for that chase driver. Have some camaraderie for the guy next to you, because at the end of the day, like, you don't want to get left behind
Right.
if you're in the chase.
It's not fun.
No, it's not
It's
fun.
not fun to drive.
And it's not fun to watch
drive with
either.
somebody doing that.
Right.
Like, million different reasons.
Yep, exactly. So hopefully that kind of clarifies. Let's see, we went over the format, how the drivers are staged on grid and the flow of that, the points, and yeah, they get up to 5 points per battle, 5 battles per session. You can change tires. However, if you need to take extra time in the pits, you're granted a 5-minute rule. If you exceed that 5-minute window, you then forfeit one of your battles and you miss out on the opportunity for 5 points.
So something different from today, the last 2 days, we're having a hot pit today, right?
Correct. We are having a hot pit.
That's
Drivers,
for both classes?
Yes, for both classes. Drivers are allowed 1 extra pair of tires in the hot pit.
On grid.
On grid. Only 1 extra pair. You can't come bring
So 2
10
tires.
sets. Yes, 2 tires.
And this is a new thing.
And this is a new thing that we have not done previously. The reason we are doing that is because the way that this track is laid out, the track and where the drivers are staged is pretty far from the normal pits. And we have a separate kind of staging line before the start line. So it's given the drivers the opportunity to, have a set of tires, have a jack, have an impact right there. And
Right, but the drivers cannot get out of their car.
correct,
do their
on
own tires,
grid.
right?
Right. So if you want to try to be speedy, quick, and change tires on grid, drivers cannot get out of their car.
You have to have
You
a
have to have a crew member swap your tires real quick, and we're trying to maintain a good flow and not impede on the flow of the bracket. But if you do need extra time, or if you do not have a crew member, that's where you can leave and you can go swap tires and come back within 5 minutes and not lose out on a run.
Right, so you-
But if it takes you more than 5 minutes, you lose 5 points.
Right.
You
Right, so
lose the
you-
opportunity for 5
Right,
points.
you do not gain any points. That's the only way to not get points on a run.
Yep.
Whether you lose, doesn't matter. You'll still get points, but if you don't, make it back in your 5 minutes because basically you miss a battle.
Exactly.
You weren't there, you missed your battle.
Yep, exactly.
You get
We got to keep the show rolling. We got to keep drivers going. We can't have, 9 drivers out on grid waiting on one guy.
Right.
It just delays everything. And so, yeah, we got to keep the momentum going and, keep the laps
Keep it
turning.
rolling.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to kind of see what we have kind of figured out from this track, where it sounds like this track is a lot maybe like bigger and like further away from the pits, more tire wear than most of the tracks that these drivers have driven with UDC, right?
Yep. This track surface is definitely a bit rougher. There's been a lot of talk about more excessive tire consumption this weekend than at previous tracks. But at the end of the day, that's something that drivers need to take into consideration coming into a competition.
Always.
And, this isn't a grassroots fun practice day where you can get by on 4 tires on an entire day. Coming into a competitive environment, and especially the last event of the season, these guys should be aware that, okay, I need to come over-prepared. I'd rather bring, if I think I'm going to go through 10 tires in one day, okay, bring 12 or 14
Right.
tires. Because you never know what could happen. You could debeat a
never
front
know.
tire,
Right.
and then you're out of luck because
Right.
you didn't think to prepare a couple extra tires for your front. You're only thinking about the rear end.
And this is the 10th one, right? These drivers should know
Yes.
to expect the unexpected.
Yep, exactly. How are we looking on timeline, Tim? When are we going to start sending cars? Waiting for a drone. Oh, I see a little power up screen right there on the TV. Look at that. We're getting there.
This is such a large run up into this course.
It is. It's a large run up into a very tight turn. Hello,
It's a-
sir. Would you like to come join
Oh my
us?
goodness.
Chase told me I had to.
We're about
Yes,
to
please.
be graced with Simon's presence.
Here you are, sir.
Who are you?
You're gonna
Tell,
wanna kinda-
tell us who you
can
are.
clip it to your neck. Yeah, there we
Perfect.
go.
All right, let's get this on
Clip it to
here.
your
Hold on.
skin. On your-
Hold on.
No, you're
Oh,
good.
okay.
I was just teasing you.
Oh, okay. I'm just listening
You're so
over here.
good.
Goodness. All right.
All right, so who are you? What do you do? How are you involved? What's going on?
How's it going? Simon, I go by Night Terror on the internet sometimes. Here I work at the track in the motorsports department under Kyle, our motorsports director, and I have a lot of fun driving a Z4 out here. So I'm really excited about this.
That thing's
This
pretty
course.
saucy, huh?
It's all right. Yeah, it gets down.
Dude, you were
gets
ripping
down.
that thing last night.
It's fast.
Yeah, it looks fast.
It's I'm on a 265. I'm cheating right now.
Okay,
so.
you're cheating.
Everybody's out there on a 235.
You're
I'm,
Yep.
I'm not running the tire,
So,
but
to clarify, you're on the 265 for the practice, for the
Just
party
for
lap.
fun.
yes, just
Yes,
to have
just
fun.
for fun, yes.
I'm not competing.
Oh, and we are going hot. We got our first battle lined up. Looks like we have Eric Kegney in that BMW E30 and Chester in the Nissan 350Z coming in for your guys' first battle of the day, 215 finals out here at PPIR. Let's see these guys flick in. Nice big feint entry. They're going to come in hot into this first touch and go with an extension out to that little outer, transitioning now into outer zone 2. A little bit of a choke up there and bobble by the chase driver. Kind of a delayed transition by Eric there. Transition now into outer zone 2 or 3 now.
That was beautiful.
And they're going to extend out to the wall to outer zone 4. Good fill of OZ1 or OZ4 by that lead driver. And then we got the 5th outer there. and final outer to the finish line. So lots of outer zones with this layout.
Is that 6 outer zones?
I think, yeah, that is 6 outer zones for this layout with 1 initial inner clip.
Just one inner clip.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 inner clip there. And so these guys are going to maintain that momentum, switch positions. This is where that gentleman's zone comes into play. And as they cross the start line there, then they can get on throttle and jam down the straightaway with a nice slick entry there. Chester in the lead. Good proximity to touch and go. See if he can extend out to that zone. Barely misses it. Coming in, transitioning now. Good fill of OZ2 there.
Jumping right back into the chase.
Yep, Eric doing a good job. Oh, we got a tire dipping off. Dirt drop and a bit of a straighten there. But good recovery.
They're doing great in that outer zone 5 there. Filling the whole zone. Looks like that E30 is just kind of sitting about a car back, kind of playing it safe. You know he had a really banger lead line, so doesn't have to do too much in the chase there behind Chester. We talked a little bit in the drivers' meeting about some of the dirt drops. Some of the sections can be really gnarly out here, especially going kind of the wrong way, the way that we don't normally go on the track. So definitely something to be aware of. Some of these dirt drops are going to catch some of these guys off guard, and it can really upset the car. We saw that. Chester doing a good job of driving around it, though. Stayed in it, got into that zone still, and that E30 having a nice time just kind of chilling the car back. Knows what he needed to do there. That was a good run, both drivers there.
So you as a local, you as a track staff, and you know, you hear all the time, you drive the course all the time. How do you feel about this format, this layout?
They flipped that board around in the drivers' meeting to show us the layout, and I lit up. This is my favorite layout to drive. We drive this all the time.
Oh, sweet.
I call it just a backy factory. This first corner, you can huck it so hard. You can really slow the car down at an angle and have a lot of fun trying to pull it back around. And then where you guys put that little kind of touch and go kind of reference on the inner there is perfect. You shoot through that inner out to the outer. It's going to be a little bit difficult to chase, especially if you're doing a really big entry, but just kind of adds to that wow factor. And then the chase driver is just going to sit back a car or two, and then he'll be able to suck in on you after the first corner.
Yep, that's exactly how I was feeling. As they transition to that outer, that's going to give the chase driver the perfect pocket to kind of flick into and just set up for the next, upcoming zones. Absolutely, yeah. No, it's going to be good, especially with some of these drivers out here. You know, Jeff, he drives with us out here a lot. I think I see him on the line there. And then this Turbo Miata as well. He's been out here, came here a day early. Was hanging out with us as well. So we were talking about this line. Hopefully, they're all going to be able to show out here. And really, I know the judges, especially the style judge, was saying we're looking for backies. We're looking for a little bit of extra flair on this. So there's a lot of points to make kind of extra wow factor, get you that big lead score. Yeah, and we are in the finals. We want to see a show, right? These guys have been driving all season. They should be well versed with driving with each other. I know there were some kind of wild cards and new drivers throughout the weekend, but now that we're in finals, these guys should just be on point. I want to see big flick, big entry. I like a nice big saucy feint. I want to see you drive, over driving the car, not the car driving you. And that's my biggest takeaway. I mean, I'm not a judge, but as a spectator, you want to see, it's a show, right?
Yeah.
It is a competition. These guys are going out there trying to hit their marks, trying to fill the zones, but they need to be, 10/10ths. I want, show out.
Yep.
Show us what you got.
I think this layout is perfect for that.
I think
really
so too.
I totally agree. And you can really see it's really exaggerated in that first corner. If that lead driver is being a little bit conservative, trying to be consistent, you can see that in that first corner, or you can see when people are really hanging it out there. We actually sat in a golf cart right on that entry, all of practice, just watching people, and you can really tell who's, some people are dirt dropping on that entry, some people are really using all the track, and then some people are just kind of pulling handbrake, setting it in there a little bit more mellow. I know the judges this morning in the drivers' meeting were really talking about that. Here we go. Let's see what Jeff can do here in the lead in that BRZ.
Jeff Cunard in the lead, and then we got Austin Perry in the chase in that Turbo Miata. Austin shutting it down, unfortunately straighten out there on the initiation. Jeff with a nice fluid transition there from that first outer to second.
Here we go. Jeff doing a great job. That's OZ3 right there, filling the entire thing and making a really smooth line out to the wall. Staying at angle, not super parked at angle, but making sure he has a really fluid line there. Both these drivers starting to close in. That Turbo Miata getting behind him there. Unable to really door him, but both these drivers doing a good job. Jeff has been so consistent. He drives that K-Series car like an LS. He is just able to keep that thing in the power band, keep that thing looking so smooth. It's so impressive from him, and I've been seeing that. Seen that a lot of events out here, and when he's out at UDC driving your guys' events, man, he looks dialed every time.
Right, he hasn't missed an event.
Have you driven that car?
I've driven another K-swap car of his that was very hard to drive.
It is so fun. It is crazy.
Right,
Here we go. We got Austin in that Miata coming way shallow. It seems like kind of taking out that inner clip in the lead, and you can see there he draws a bit of a gap on Jeff, but there you go, Jeff finally able to put the power down here, coming in through this outside zone. OZ3 right here. Damiano doing a great job of filling that zone, but not a ton of angle. He's kind of shallowing up a little bit through there. Does a better job through OZ4. Coming into OZ5 here. Good transition, not a super spicy flick. A little bit of a dirt drop on the end of that zone. Jeff doing exactly what he needs to do, making his presence felt there in the chase, but not getting too over-committed, not making sure he has a choppy line. So great job from Jeff. Just what he needed to do there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think Austin had a phenomenal lead. He was very fluid, pretty consistent. You know, despite the hiccup on initiation through that first touch and go, he was in every outer zone. He was filling, you know, not just like barely placing the rear tires in the zone. He was filling that outer zone, and very fluid, very smooth, good momentum through it. Not much bobble, not much variation in speed there. It was a very consistent lead line, and I feel like that's a good testament of like, okay, it is possible, right? There was some gripe about this layout in the drivers' meeting, but it's very fluid at the end of the day. You know, that entry is going to be the biggest kind of handicap for the rest of the course, because if you mess up that entry, you have the opportunity to not be 100% in it until, let's say, the third outer zone, because if you mess up on that entry, then you're messing up the second outer, and you're messing up the third outer.
Catching up
You're playing catch up the entire time. But thankfully that wasn't the case for Austin there. He messed up the entry, and somehow he just clicked in it and was good flow through each of the outers.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
to see that Miata like fill the entire zone with the entire car.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little, fits right in nice.
No, and he did a good job, obviously, having a big correction, big mistake in that first corner there. It looks like we got Jake Fleming
and
in his
Forrest.
E36. That's Forrest in there. So
That's
this
Forrest in the FRS.
Two drivers who definitely have been having their fair share of stuff going on this weekend. Lots of tension here between some of the drivers. Obviously, a lot of the local guys, a lot of the out-of-town guys. I've known Jake for a long time. I know he knows how to drive, and he's been doing some things in the lead, doing some things in the chase that some drivers are not liking, some drivers are really liking. So going to be excited to see what he does here. We had some clarification from the judges in the drivers meeting as far as exactly what they're looking for, and both of these drivers know how to execute on that. So looking forward to a really consistent line, definitely hitting all the zones out of Jake from NorCal, and then obviously Forrest, hometown hero, everybody loves him around here, so he's going to be putting it down as well for all of us. It looks like he's in, is he in his BRZ then?
Yes,
He's in the BRZ,
he is.
which is a change from yesterday.
Oh, the IS started breaking up and running weird. What?
Oh no.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
so he ended up, he had his MAF came unplugged, and that was the issue he had. Then he hopped in the BRZ, one of his team members fixed that car, and he was back out in practicing in Altezza. So
okay,
he's just swapping back and forth. I mean, he's got so many good rigs out here.
In the BRZ that I was kind of surprised not to see it yesterday.
Yeah, same. Because he drove the BRZ at Apple Valley previously, and he was dialed.
That's been like a very familiar chassis for him for quite a while.
And it is one of those things too, when drivers are using that left foot brake, when drivers are slowing down into the zones, being down on power, down on torque comparatively to his Altezza, it's kind of hard for him to make those corrections. So it's one of those things where I think he's more dialed in the lead in his 8.6, in his BRZ, whatever that thing is, but he's a little bit more consistent in his chase. But here we go, Jake Fleming out of NorCal, Flemtech, getting it started here for us. Let's see a big flick out of that E36. Turbo M52 under the hood of that thing. I know it makes over 400 horsepower, so he better light off right here.
A little bit of a bobble into that touch and go there, but good recovery. Smooth transition to outer zone 2.
Yep, Forrest able to close the door on him a little bit there, trying to make up that ground, but it looks like he's got that car dialed in today. It is looking way faster than it was previously. Here, he's pretty shallow through a lot of these zones. He is a little bit in the zone, but he's really not making his angle felt. I know he's got a big kit on that thing. He can park this if he wants to. Right. It looks like he's kind of running away from Forrest here. Finally, at the end there, Forrest able to make up some ground and get on him, doing some early transitions to try to catch up there. But good job out of both drivers. I'd like to see more angle out of Jake there in the lead, as long as he can keep the car moving fast at angle. We did talk a lot in the drivers meeting about not using a ton of left foot brake, not parking into the zones, but here we go as they come around. Swap side to side here. We got Forrest in the lead. Jake giving chase. Forrest with a big flick into the first corner. That looked really smooth into the first touch and go. Looks perfect in there. Here we go.
Good fill to outer.
Low angle there. outer zone 2 here. Gets in it a little bit late, but now he stays in it. Jake right on his 6 there. He is able to kind of mimic that angle really well. Jake's doing a good job. Forrest pulls a little bit of angle out of it to make sure he gets deep into that zone and actually gets a little bit of a gap on Jake here coming through the end. But there you go, that Turbo M32 pouring on the power.
Now, I feel like lead to lead, Forrest definitely did a better job of filling outer zone 3 and 4 coming up to that wall. I know there was a lot of talk in the driver's meeting about having both tires in the zone. You know, adding more angle, correct, not on the line, but adding that angle and, you know, maintaining good perpendicularity to the wall or to the outside of the outer zone. And Forrest did a great job executing that. However, when Jake was leading, I did notice through outer zone 3 and 4, he was in the zone, but that trailing the outer wheel was on that line.
Yeah,
so that's going to be a bit, you know, something for the judges to take into consideration.
Those E36s, they can make so much grip when you're on throttle. It can kind of drive you out of the zone there. You almost have to go too deep in the zone and then light off in the zone to stay in there. But he is doing a good job. I do really appreciate from Jake. You know, there were some comments from judges and other drivers about him driving a little bit slow in the lead. Looked like he's really changing that. So yeah, he's definitely going fast.
He's picked it up.
I was very impressed to see, like, leaving the gap.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and both those drivers are dialed, so we'll have to see how they come around with a couple more battles here, but we'll see what the judges see. Do we have any way to see points on this?
Yes. We just need to get the graphic overlay up.
I'll turn my Do Not Disturb on, turn the sound off so I can watch us.
Yeah, right now I know ads are playing on the right side of the screen. We don't have points up right this second.
Gotcha, okay.
All right.
Guys, we'll get points up for you guys as soon as we can.
And coming up next, it looks like we have Nate Pena in that 350Z, and then is that Levi in the yellow E36?
Yeah, Levi Wade 3 Series parts in that E36 M3 little Dakar yellow rig. That thing is out at every single event that we have here. Yellow, sorry.
And we got a SoCal local being Nate with the local Colorado guy.
Yeah, I mean
Levi.
we've got one of the main guys here in the Colorado scene. It sounds like one of your big dogs from out in SoCal. So this is dope. I love the camaraderie and the rivalry that comes out of this. Nate was looking super down in practice. When I mentioned dirt dropping on entry being on the absolute track limit, he was one of the dudes doing that, had some spicy entries, and actually on the flip side of that, Levi's a little bit more conservative with a lot of his lead runs. He's a very consistent driver. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He gets a lot of clarification in drivers' meetings as far as what the judges are looking for. So
lots of clarification.
What I'm looking forward to is seeing Levi push the boundaries a little bit on his driving, get a little bit more outside the box, and Nate, I want to see something exciting in the lead, exciting in the chase. Both of these drivers are able to absolutely door one another, so let's see if they can hold it together, keep it clean while driving on that limit.
Yep.
And Nate must have replaced that stud.
Oh yeah, Nate fixed his car,
stud.
broke a wheel stud, replaced it real quick.
I told Trish, I said, hey, he needs a stud. And here we are.
There we go. That's what you need to do there.
And it looks like they're getting sent down that straightaway. Let's see how we do. Levi in the chase, Levi in the lead. Sorry, Nate in the chase.
Here we go. Levi, let's see if he does that e-brake initiation. Yep, that straight line approach e-brake initiation. All right, Levi. Let's make me not eat crow on calling you consistent here. Goodness. There we go. He's back. I know he is back into the thick of it here. Super shallow angle. I mean, obviously he's been off the mark since the entry here. Now finally getting that car dialed in. Actually does a decent job on that OZ3. Now it's looking like the Levi we know and love. You know, Nate hanging back, but obviously with that big bobble on initiation, Nate just has to make it through the course now. So he's definitely driving a little bit more conservative. And you know what? You love to see that from a strong competitor, somebody who knows how to hold back, especially when they're an aggressive driver. It's a really hard balance to play. So here we go as they swap spots. Nate in the lead, Levi giving chase. Levi is going to need to try to make his presence felt, try to force a mistake out of Nate here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And you know, both cars are fairly stock. Is that, I don't know, is it an M3 or is it just a 3 Series? Okay, and look at that flick out of Nate in the lead. Does a great job. Levi going all the way on the inside of that cone. I think Levi's got a car problem right now, personally. I saw him in practice.
This is not the driving I expect.
Yeah, he's definitely got something going on. It looks like he's having a really hard time. There's a little bit of a straighten and bobble reinitiation into the outer there, too, as well in the chase. So one thing I will say, some inside knowledge that I have, that car's a 315 differential, so he's actually in first gear sometimes, coming through that tight section, then has to shift to second. When he makes that 1-2 shift, his car can bog and it'll cause a bobble. So, you know, not trying to glaze too hard on Levi, but I do know he is working through that issue. That could be something he's dealing with.
No, it's good to have that insight and kind of technical breakdown on what could be happening.
Hey, dude,
this is a very technical course. Coming in for, like, you've got a long run up, you've got a very tight turnaround, and then you need to pick that speed back up.
Yep.
And one thing that I want to congratulate Nate on there, he did that flick that we were seeing in practice. I love that flick initiation. The judges say they love that flick initiation. Looks like we've got a homie I've been helping out a lot in the chase here. That is Dune in the chase in his Turbo E36. We were driving in practice, man. That thing absolutely rages for
I hope he fixed it this morning. He said he went out for practice, car wasn't making boost.
Yeah, no, literally before I came up here, we were swapping a motor mount arm, swapping a coupler, bunch of little issues he had during practice that hopefully got ironed out. Kyle was down there in his pits and his guy as well. Sweet, getting that car all figured out.
He's feeling good.
Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I have no idea.
He made it to line. He's out there.
He didn't use his 5 minutes to fix his car before the event even started. So that's a win.
Correct. That is a win. Yes.
Who is that in the lead?
Chester, or is that Chester? Yeah. That is.
No, I think that's the other guy, not Chester.
That's Chester. That's not Rocco, right? Yeah, that's Chester.
We should have 2 silver Z's on.
Was I hearing that right? Chester's like 13 years old.
Chester's 14
That's
years
crazy.
old.
He started the series at 13 though.
Yeah.
Like he has turned 14.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I mean,
he's a sim kid, and he kills it in the nearly stock 350Z. It's insane to see what this kid does.
Here we go. Let's see if Dune can turn his car down enough to stay behind him. You see Dune way back on the initiation, but that's because that E36 is so fast. Immediately closes the gap on him. He's going to have to really ride that left foot brake and stay behind him.
Snap into transition, surging in there into outer. Perfect.
There we go. Chester putting it where he needs to. Dune's a little bit off, but just trying to left foot brake, keep that car staying back. And there you go. You see, Dune.
The bobble is straight and in the chase. That's going to be effective.
Yeah, there you go. He lights back off again. You can see that smoke immediately pouring off of that E36. Goes way wide. Dirt drop. Man, that's going to unfortunately probably be a 0 for Dune in the chase there. Chester doing a good job just making it through the course, but not really doing anything too impressive. If I was a style judge, I would kind of give him a big shrug on that one. But obviously doing everything he needs to do, and Dune with that bobble. Let's see if he can impress us in the lead, though. Maybe make up some points here and do something crazy that could potentially force the issue on Chester here.
See a little bit
getting ready for that big flip.
Nice big flip.
Look at how fast this car comes through this first corner. He is inarguably the fastest person through. And there you go. Just like I said, forces the mistake a little bit there. He's unfortunately off on that outer zone, but the big straighten, now an inactive chase for the rest of this for Chester. Let's see if Dune can keep that car sideways through the rest of this.
A little bit shallow on that outer. Let's see if he can push in. Still shallow. That trailing wheel outside of the zone there.
Yeah, like I said, the T36 is making so much grip there. But doing a good job coming through this. This is something that we talked about when we were watching practice. If you can do a crazy enough entry, you can actually force a mistake on the trailing driver, whoever is in that chase. It's really hard to chase a backy. It's really hard to chase a fast entry where somebody's able to light off and make it through that corner, especially,
and get that natural decel with the angle coming in. Yeah. It is very hard to chase stuff like that.
That's going to be a tough one on the judges.
Some of these drivers are definitely more used to just pulling e-brake and
Correct.
going right through it.
Correct.
When you're throwing in something like a good feint or just a big old flick, that's really going to throw them off. If you don't know how to chase that, if you don't know how to drive like that, you don't know how to chase that.
Right.
No. And that's that the gift and the curse of driving a gripped up E36. Even on these tiny tires, you can make grip, but you saw didn't have that bobble in the chase. So he was, it's hard to keep that car locked down behind a slower car, but then in the lead, you can really use it to your advantage. So it's always the grip Olympics out here trying to make that balance of being able to drive behind somebody slow, but also being able to pull away from somebody.
Right. And like yesterday morning, I rode along with Dune as passenger, and I mean, he was on a 215 like summer tire, like 500 treadwear summer tire, and the car is still very gripped up and very consistent. As soon as they warmed up, it was just very consistent. He had a good forward drive, and we went back into the pits, and both of us were like, whoa, like this, it's not a 300, it's not a 200, it's not a 300 treadwear tire. This is like a 500 treadwear tire, and it's still so consistent and very grippy.
Dude, more insider trading here. He got some Road X's from Proform here in the Springs. He actually had some tires shipped to him, but they were unfortunately 15s. They sent him the wrong tires. He got a couple of Kendas, couple of random tires, blew through those. Proform got him some Road X's last minute yesterday. He got them mounted up, so 600 treadwear Road X's, still making forward bite.
Yep.
Here we go. Is this that Turbo Miata?
It is the Turbo Miata. Austin Perry in the lead. Eric Kegney in the chase.
Austin doing a way better job on this lead than he did previously. He is really filling those zones. And that E30, he said Alex able to get in there and definitely do the thing behind him. Here we go, Austin Maverick, and then into that outer zone 4 right at the wall. He is so far into that zone. Like you said, Caitlin, putting almost that entire car into the zone. Not a ton of angle, but that is kind of how Turbo Miatas drive.
Yes.
He's not parking it. He's moving quick through this course, and really cool to see that he's finally dialing that in.
That was a great lead.
Yeah, he's got that short, snappy wheelbase, so if he does want to extend through the longer sections of course, he's gonna have to compromise a little bit of angle to really push the car through smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that he's going to need to work on there. Let's see how he can keep this under control behind this E30 as they both roll up to this initiation. Looks like a flick entry coming from Alex. That's what we like. Eric. That's what we like to see. There we go. Hard sit in front of Miata. The big judges by Eric in the lead there. Zero out that lead, and obviously, what can Austin do in the chase there? I mean, he's just going to reinitiate behind them. That was an unchaseable lead, and now
lead drivers,
both drivers just kind of chilling. I wonder if something happened on that E30. You know, it looked like potentially he could have had a car issue there. He might be trying to save the car for the next battle, save his tires if he could be out. So he's
right, and he's got a stock 6.0 LQ4, I believe, in that E30. So he should have no problem with the low end torque and be able to naturally kind of slow the car down, clutch kick it, and light back off. I'm really curious as to what the mistake was there and why it just kind of like stalled out on him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, but kind of the way it goes. Hopefully he can get that sorted out and be back for the next one, because he was ripping in his previous battle. Let's see, who do we got pulling up to the line now?
Looks like this next battle is going to be Hometown Heroes. It looks like we have Forrest Verts and Jeff Coonrod.
And these are homies, right? Like they drive together all the time.
Yeah, but they surely aren't homies out here. Look at Forrest pushing into that first corner. Jeff with a huge power advantage. Both of them exciting entry here. Doing a great job into that inner split. Look at that Forrest.
Entry by Forrest there. That is what we want to see.
Textbook outer zone 2. Here we go. Jeff really needs to turn it up here and get on his door. Outer zone 3. Not super deep there, but gets in at the end. And now here we go, the super smooth line out to this outer zone 4. Bit of a bubble there. Trying to light off behind him, but just can't get anything going. I don't see any smoke coming off the back of that car. I wonder if maybe Jeff might be having a problem there. It looked like Jeff was driving the NA car on that one.
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, Forrest was definitely pushing that. That was a great first zone.
Man, Forrest on a lick is a hard person to beat.
Seriously.
He is comfortable. His drone view is great. We need this more often.
Isn't
I love the super up top view. Here we go. Forrest needs to make something happen. Both of these drivers, big triple flick here. Forrest already on him, dodging through that first clip. That's gonna hurt him. He is straight there.
Just a little bit too
great transition. Good time.
He is on the front tire. See, this is what we talked about in the drivers meeting, and Forrest is definitely going to be deducted a ton of points here. They said they want you a car back and being smooth rather than on that driver's front tire. Look, he's pushing him down. He's having fun. This is some banging doors with your boys driving right here, but not the smartest comp driving for Forrest. I feel like he definitely
threw him off on transition there. That just messed him up through the last outer.
He had an advantage going into this for sure after his lead, but you know, after seeing that, he was all over him. But they were saying they really don't want to see bobbles and straightens in the chase.
Right.
And I talked a lot with that chase judge. Have you guys gone over the 3 judges yet?
Yes, we have.
Sweet, yeah. Yep. So that's.
I think you said it great. It looked like he was driving with the homies, right? Just pushing around the track.
And it's funny. There's kind of 3 levels of driving. There's like driving and being super respectful, driving close and like maybe doing a touch or two, and then there's pushing your friend around the track.
Just
and that was pushing your friend around the track.
Yeah, pushing around the track. Yep.
Forrest.
So interesting to see the power dynamic though of the slower car was pushing that faster car.
Well, yeah, you know, it doesn't always come down to power. You can also have a little bit of a grip difference, and for a slower car, it's really hard to be able to light those tires off, left foot brake, and keep the car sideways behind them. I think that's where Forrest was kind of having a problem in that BRZ. And we talked when we were watching practice about which car he was going to do. In that low power car, a lot harder to stay behind some of these cars moving a little bit slower. And Jeff's car obviously lights those tires off and then can sit at angle. He was moving a little bit slower, but I don't think he was left foot braking or doing anything crazy that would be a deduction in the lead there, at least from what we saw.
And it looks like we have points up currently. Well, the driver's list and the points are on the board, but the points have not been updated yet for the battles that have gone. So hopefully we can get that scoreboard updated shortly for y'all.
It looks like that's Eric in that E30 was
He's always in
he said I messed up my lead. I'm not wasting time.
Yeah.
Here we go. It looks like, is that
Chester in the lead?
I don't know if that's Chester.
Chase. Yep, that's Chester in the lead.
That's Chester in the lead there.
Yep.
He's got a little bit of a livery on there.
All right, yeah, Chester in the lead, Nate in the chase. Nate's car sounds super good, kind of popping on transition there. It's actually fun fun to watch there. Here we go. Both these
3 into 4 now.
Both these drivers, you can tell, drive with each other a lot. Super confident on there. It looks like some left foot brake out of Nate in that chase to try to set the car up.
Yep.
Doing a good job of mimicking. Good transition right there.
Great
He's in the zones right with Chester there. And like we said, playing it a little bit conservative in that chase to make sure the chase run looks smooth, because that's what the driver's meeting, that's what they asked for. So.
And Nate's one of those guys where he has an insane amount of seat time under his belt. I mean, he's street driving almost every other day during the week, and he's at the track regularly as well. So this guy's got a ton of comfortability, a ton of seat time in that Blue Z, and he's out here to really try to kill this people.
Yeah, there we go. And you can see, oh man, he doesn't get out to that outer zone. Looks like Chester was anticipating he would get out of the zone. Almost got choked up. It was a great job keeping sideways behind him. Here we go. Now Nate transitions here, able to put a little bit of a gap on him and deep into outer zone 3. Coming into outer zone 4, a little bit of a straight line approach into that zone, but now that he's in it, fires off again, able to get that car sideways, doing a good job filling that outer zone there. You know, just a solid lead run from Nate. Nothing that's super crazy, nothing that I think the style judge would be jumping around about.
Correct, but very consistent, very smooth.
Exactly what he needs to do. And that entry is something that I really do like. He has a nice flick there. He's always on track limits. A little bit of a bobble into OZ2 or OZ1. He didn't get as deep as we'd like to see there, but as far as his entry, I really like that.
He's got one of the most consistent entries, I think, so far from what we've seen here.
Totally.
And it looks like up next we're going to have E36 on E36 battle, Levi Waite and Dune Mallory.
There we go. This is NA S52 versus Turbo S52. Levi Waite in that yellow E36, Dune in that silver E36. And now this is where it can come to just getting it dialed in. Dune's car kind of unpredictable. Levi's car very predictable. But we're going to have to see if Levi's able to keep this thing sideways behind him, and if Levi's able to clean up that entry. He did kind of have a first round jitter on Friday as well. So we'll see if that first one was just kind of a fluke, and now he can dial in his entry.
Correct. And yeah, I mean, this is also Dune's first weekend in this turbo build, in the swap. Like, he showed up on Thursday and had to tune the car here. And he went from a stock motor to now force induction, double the power. And so this weekend's been a big learning curve for him. And I'm hoping that he can, get more comfortable through this first session and really turn it around and place well throughout the rest of the event today.
Yeah, absolutely a hard-fought battle for him. Just battling the car, really, and that's how it goes with these turbo builds a lot of the time.
Right.
He's been asking us for parts, and we've been trying to help him out as much as we can, get him whatever he needs. But he's definitely going through all of the growing pains all at once.
All at once.
What happens when you bring a higher powered car out here. He's able to get the thing ready. He has an awesome crew behind him, an awesome homie. He drove all the way out here to help him as well.
Yep.
And they're just having a ball out here, driving super hard. Exactly what we like to see. And as Kyle says, he's doing the wrong thing the right way. He's got some components that are questionable, but he's able to make it work for him. So really stoked to see Dune out here. Really stoked to see Levi out here as well, competing in a different competition. Obviously, he runs his own competition series, but showing face, showing support for UDC out here is super cool. And then obviously all these Cali drivers driving all the way out here, having to retune their car at elevation, having problems with a brand new track they've never driven, but still driving their hearts out is cool to see. So.
Right, I know a handful of the California drivers have never even left California.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, some of the guys, they've just done the SoCal rounds. I want to say, like, Austin Carey, this is his first time in Colorado, first time driving PPIR.
He's never driven out of state.
Yep.
That's just a whole nother world of nerves, I think, is not knowing the locals and who you're coming up to.
Right.
Although everybody here at PPIR is so
And
great.
for the SoCal guys, it's not like you're driving, 3, 4, 5 hours to go to Vegas to drive. Like, no, this was 18, 20, 22 hours for a lot of these people. That is a trek.
Right.
A whole nother dynamic of
We've got some points starting to trickle in here. I don't see any 10s out there. I don't see anyone who has won 2 battles, so still wide open, it seems like. Yep, here we go, Levi able to clean up that entry. It looks like Dune behind him, playing it safe, knowing he's got plenty of power to close the door. Levi's kind of running away from him right now. Super shallow, hardly in the zone. There you go, Dune firing off behind him. Gets that thing in the third gear. You see that thing immediately make smoke. There you go. Levi was listening to us, finally puts it at an angle.
Levi is going to spin.
Man, they shouldn't have called Levi consistent. That's the dog right there, but what's he doing?
Commentators curse. I didn't even know that was a thing. I learned that yesterday. So
don't talk about me when I drive.
It's your fault.
The problem, I have it when
I have... drive comp, I won't. When are you going to drive comp?
Man, it's crazy out here.
Yeah?
The shade is crazy out here. Yeah, sorry, I can't put my car on 215s, man. Here we go, Dune in the lead. Levi giving chase. Dune with a big flick, drives a little bit e-brake to slow the car.
To see that entry.
Super wide. Oh, able to keep it sideways. That's dang near going to be a 0-1 himself as well. All he needs to do is make it to the course, Dune. What are you doing? Dune never wanted to shy away from doing a saucy flip there. So he knows, even though he pretty much has this run in the bag, he is still doing his best. You can see on that zone view how hard it is to fill that outside zone. So, you know, a lot of these E36s are driving a little bit shallow, a little bit fast here because they need you to keep that wheel speed up, having a hard time getting all the way out into the zone. We've got... Man, that was an interesting one. I wonder if they're going to zero Dune in the lead for kind of parking it there in the lead, or if they're going to call that just a really big deduction. Because if that's a big deduction, Dune gets the win pretty much automatically, obviously with Levi spinning.
Exactly.
And I think you have to. He kept
I feel
it
like
sideways.
that wasn't as big of an issue than the spin.
And we did say in the drivers' meeting, we did talk a lot about, you know, give them some room on that first corner. That first corner is really, really a hard one to nail down. So,
You'd rather see less proximity in the first turn, and then on transition into outer two, then you kind of suck up into the pocket rather than trying to door them through the first touch and go in first outer.
Absolutely, and you saw Forrest trying to door Jeff through that first zone,
and it just didn't really work out for him.
Caused a little bit of a hiccup there, and that's, you know, Forrest is just driving out of his mind this weekend, so he's trying to push it as hard as possible, but yeah, there's something to be said about that
Forrest was
consistency.
expecting to be here today in the finals.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was.
So,
that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, halfway, I think, after they announced, he was like, oh no, I need to go get tires.
And
the mindset change is huge.
And for him to drive the Altezza earlier this weekend, and then get into finals last night, and then now he's hopping into the 8.6 today is like, that's wild.
Right.
Whole different car, whole different chassis, different power band, everything. Yeah, it's a great thing he has so much seat time in each of his cars.
There we go. This is Eric in the lead, Jake Fleming giving chase. Both of these cars able to slow way down in these zones. So what I'm going to look for, I want both of these cars to really be at angles to these zones. That's what I want to see out of these two BMWs right now. Eric, nice little flick, touch of e-brake. Look at that, Jake, way more angle coming through, and unfortunately Shallow's way out.
The bobbles by the lead car though.
He's doing a really good job actually keeping that car sideways and not straightening right there. That from Jake in the chase. Looks like something may be wrong with his car, but no, he's back in it. Man, I think might have not lit off the way he wanted to in that first corner.
Right.
Eric doing a great job in the lead, though, through that outer zone 4. Here into 5, at angle in the zone. Looks like he gets both tires in there just barely. Jake able to close the gap a little bit. Coming to the finish line.
With
that is about as close to a 0 as you can get while keeping it alive. Unfortunately, just kind of off the mark since initiation there. But let's see if he can clean it up in the lead here. And like we were saying, this is where we wanted to see him potentially force the issue on Eric. Eric, all he's got to do is stay a car and a half back and run a smooth line behind him.
Conservative and complete the run.
What he can do. But I can hear that car through the door. There we go. That's the entry we want to see. And there's the potential mistake and the straight, and that's exactly what we're talking about. That big entry can force the issue there. But here we go. Back into it. I don't think he was getting greedy in the lead there, or the chase there. I think he was just trying to match that E36 and didn't have the bite out of the corner. You know, that clutch dump can be lethal.
Right.
And again, right there, look at that. Surged up a little too far coming out of the outer zone when he should have played conservative, stuck back, and transitioned a bit earlier.
That's a tough one. I can't wait to see what he comments in here. I know he's already pulling his phone out right now. He's pulling his phone out, ready to comment.
He's great.
That's amazing.
He's a really cool guy. He's
That's
fun.
crazy.
He's fun.
I would actually tweak in the car if I was listening to commentators while I was driving.
Me too. Me too. I can't do it. I can't listen to music, no radio, nothing when I'm driving.
I really like that entry from Jake. He's a little bit off that inner clip when he comes through there. At least that's what I remember. It could be wrong, but I really like the fact that he's throwing it in really hard. And you can see that, you know, trailing arm cars, man, when you light off after that big flick, you slow down a ton, and then you light off again, it can really give the chase drivers a problem there. But it's also, you know, if I was a style points judge, I'd be like, yeah, that's sauce right there.
That's what we want to see, right?
Yeah.
Coming from the style side of things, big feint, big flick, nice and wide, consistent angle through that zone.
So we said somehow the follow will win still. You know, there's a lot of nuance to this stuff. It's definitely something where you gotta
You've judged, right? You judge kind of.
I love judging. I'm super biased. I can be bought.
You're pretty judgy.
I love all my friends. I hate everybody else. So I'm up in the booth. I'm not judging today. But no, it's one of those things. Being a judge is a really hard job. Being a commentator is a hard job. I was telling you yesterday, dude, being solo in the booth is tough.
Dude, the first day we were here, it was brutal. I don't even want to watch the first 2 streams we did because it was brutal.
Nah, you're doing a great job out here. But judging is a really tough job. I like to say, dude, you can win and still hate the judges.
Yep.
I've won comps and been like, these judges suck.
Yep.
And it's one of those things you just always feel like that. You know, you always hate the umpire when you're playing baseball. It's just one of those things.
And all right, coming into this next battle, we got Nate Pena in the lead and Austin Carey in the chase.
2 SoCal dudes, if I recall correctly.
Yes, sir.
Both of these boys throwing it in. Nice initiation from both these drivers. Austin able to light off pretty early behind Nate there. Nate not all the way in the zone, but finally gets out there by the end of it. OZ3, this is really where he shines here. He is able to put that car at angle and do a great job coming through both these zones. Man, as I say that, he's really straight line approach there through that zone, but doing a good job getting out to the wall there. You see that car starting to make some tire smoke at the end of this. Austin, I know that car is on limiter trying to follow him right there. And you can see that he's unable to make up that gap because he's limited by gearing there. So tough one for that chase driver, but doing a great job of making it happen regardless. Let's see if he can do something real cool in the lead here to potentially give him the advantage.
Nate not giving him any space on the run-up. See this nice flick entry by the lead car there.
Hear the backfire through the door there. And here we go. Great job into that first inner zone. I love it. Slow the car down on angle. There you go.
Beautiful placement.
Deep into that second outer zone there and at angle, pouring on some smoke. You can tell that he is right where he needs to be. Nate, though, doing a great job staying behind that car. You see those brake lights come on. You smoke off the front of that car. He is left foot braking hard to keep that thing where it needs to be, but doing a good job of keeping that thing sideways. Let's see on this last transition, little bit of a dive there. They both come across the line.
What a lead.
Great work.
What a lead.
That was a phenomenal example of a lead there.
That is exactly what we talk about. With a good lead creates a good chase.
Yes,
Nate able to stay behind him. If I was a judge there, I would be giving it to Austin just because of that lead. You know, I really don't like running away in the lead, man. You got to stay with it. You know, if you're scared of getting run down, just build a faster car. You know, and Z's aren't that, so he definitely has to try to drive as fast as he can. But that Miata able to hawk him down in the end there, but you did see a lot better proximity, so it's a hard one because the lead run from Nate wasn't bad.
No, it was
just there's a little things that I think the Miata did a little bit better. This is Dune here. Dune actually currently in the lead, I believe, with 10 points.
Can you read the points off?
Oh yes, so we got
with Jake Fleming here.
Yep.
So
Dune Mallory in first. They just updated. All right.
Well, Nate's got a loss, so Nate's technically not in the lead. He's just gone first.
True.
We've got Dune and Jake both with perfect scores currently. Here we go. Dune in the lead. Forrest getting chase here. Dune way off on an air
by the lead
shuts
car.
it down. Able to reinitiate, but that's a 0. I don't know if Forrest is going to keep drifting behind him. Looks like he's going to. Maybe just to shake down the car, make sure nothing's wrong. Yeah. Now Dune's lighting off like nothing's wrong. And Forrest a little bit of a hiccup there. We'll see what happened. It looked like he just parked a little too much, maybe even bound up a little bit on that. I wish we had some replays, but I know we move really fast in this competition. But
the great thing is the stream is delayed by about 30 seconds, and so if you have the stream live on your phone, by the time their run is over, for the most part, it'll be
you can run it back.
playing on the stream. Yeah, and they are going to.
Here we go. They're pulling up to the line again.
I wonder what the cause was for them stopping. Forrest looks like he's talking with Chris there out on the track.
I'd imagine Forrest needs a minute.
He might say that his car got hurt in that contact there. It looked like Dune's car just gripped up. I don't necessarily think it fell on a boost. If I was a betting man, I'd say that thing broke up a little bit. Stopped his wheel speed there, and then those cars grip up so fast if you're not on it.
They do.
It's one of those things where it'll snap back and straighten, and if Forrest's front wheel was involved in that, he could need a second to change some stuff out.
Right.
Hard in these competitions because you guys do run really fast, which is really cool from a spectator perspective. But
it makes it hard on the drivers.
When you have an issue like that, when you potentially need to swap something out, realign your car, there's hardly time for a toe plate. It's mainly just throw something in there and pray.
Yep. Eyeball it and go.
And Forrest is no stranger to making some stuff work. He can drive through a lot of adversity. So hopefully he'll be able to get that thing sorted out, or maybe he might not even need it. We have our start line guy looks like he's given some radio calls to maybe our pit officials, letting them know he's going to take a 5, or he's going to be sending them.
All right, and here we go into the second half of this battle. Forrest in the lead, Dune in the chase. Let's see how we do roles reverse now. Forrest coming in with a conservative handbrake entry there.
Yeah,
Good proximity to first time go. Good push to OZ1. Let's see this transition into OZ2. So good positioning and fill into OZ2 there by Forrest.
Forrest on a Sunday cruise in the lead there.
Yes.
He knows that he doesn't need to do anything too crazy. Dune behind him looks like he's still potentially struggling to get that car to stay out at angle. Really looking gripped up comparatively, but doing a good job, both of them getting into that outer zone 4, outer zone 5. Yeah, we talk about Forrest being super smooth, super consistent. Sunday cruise in the lead. He knew exactly what he needed to do. He knew he pretty much had the W secured there, so he's just floating through the course, driving like he has 1,000 times before, and that's where that track knowledge and also just the comfortability in your car. Talk about Dune with the brand new car, Forrest with a rig he's driven for months and months and has a ton of laps in, so Forrest definitely had the advantage there just on consistency, and it shows what you need to do there.
Right, because Forrest could have thrown a big nasty entry. He can. He's confident and comfortable in that, but chose to go conservative.
Yeah, I haven't seen
call.
I haven't seen a huge flick out of Forrest yet. I would love to.
Not today, for
not yet.
sure. I saw some good feints coming out from the Altezza.
And
I'd
looking
like
like
it to be thick,
up
like
next,
bigger.
we got Levi Waite lined up in that yellow E36 and Chester Wiesel in that 350Z.
Here we go. Let's see if Levi can finally nail one of these entries.
Seriously.
Let's see what he can do.
It's
I'm
been a
going to check
bit
his points
inconsistent so
update.
far this morning. Points update. It looks like it's the
This
same.
may put Jake Fleming actually up if Jake can make something happen, because it looks like Dune's probably going to be losing that battle. So, Dune was the last double 5, I guess, double win competitor there. Here we go. Levi in the lead. You see Chester flicking it in behind him even before he initiates. Levi with a nice second handle pull. Not able to get out to OZ1. Flick to OZ2. Now he's in the right spot here. Gets both wheels there in the end. Chester doing a good job behind him, mimicking that low angle approach that Levi is taking. Levi now able to put some angle into it. Let's see if he can nail this transition.
Extension, nice wide push out towards that wall. Chester in the chase, a little bit of a late transition there. He's not quite in that pocket, but playing it safe.
Hey, after seeing Levi spin the run before this, he may have been giving him a little bit of extra room in that transition.
I would have done the same thing.
And not necessarily a bad thing from him, but doing a good job as they come around here. Looks like the rolls are going to be reversed. Let's see what Chester can do as far as a flick initiation right down the middle of the track here. Out wide, can he use the track limits? Doing a great job at that track limit. This should push him out good to OZ1. There we go.
Beautiful.
Yep, nice zone in OZ1.
Right into
OZ2, he's
OZ2,
right where he
right
needs
where
to
he should be. Yep,
there we go.
yep,
Levi able to really get into that pocket because Chester's doing a good job in the lead there. Even almost too deep into that zone, but too deep works out right there. No dirt to drop off, so he's able to keep it going. And now here we go into outer zone 5, right on the track limits again. He is on the edge of every single zone.
Beautiful lead by Chester there.
That was great.
Those are the most full zones for sure.
Yeah.
And Chester's our youngest driver out there today. The kid's like 14 years old.
Dude, he's on a
Literally
rip.
a child.
Yeah.
Not crazy exciting except for that entry, but doing everything he needs to do, super fluid. And you can see how much better Levi's chase looked just because of how good that lead was. So,
yes, absolutely.
It's definitely something where, you got to give both these drivers credit for doing a great job on that one, but Chester really putting the exclamation point on that one.
Right,
And
Chester leading the way.
Up next, we got...
Somebody said, Levi, lock in. I'm rooting for you. Levi's got to lock in. Dude. He is not... he's not out here pushing like he was yesterday. Maybe driving a little bit more conservative.
Now coming down that straightaway, we got Eric Hegney in the E30, Jeff Coonrod in that FRS.
Here we go. We got to see Jeff push a door in here. Jeff is going to be turning it up super wide off that inner clip from that E30 of Eric.
But much better entry than the previous run.
Absolutely. And now he's getting back into it, throwing a bunch of angle, loading up that transition, allows Jeff to kind of make up some ground here. A little bit of a glitch here, really straightening out to get out to that wall section and puts a decent
loading up a lot of angle there on transition.
He's going to park it. Man, that's tough. That's tough because he's driving really inconsistently in that lead where he's either a ton of angle and slowing down, and then he's straightening up, and he's really driving away from Jeff there. Hard for the judges to see. I hope they can watch the live stream and see what we're seeing on that one, but hard to see with the naked eye if you're just looking at ground level from that one. Let's see if Jeff can do a consistent lead here. We're going to see an awesome flick from him. Initiates super early, little e-brake drag. And look at that. He is
getting a little too aggressive.
having a hard time staying behind him. There we go. Straightens out. We'll see if that is fault on the lead driver or the chase. That is up to the judges there. It looks
a
like
little lazy with the reinitiation in the chase.
Yeah, he takes his sweet time getting going again behind Jeff there. You know, we talk about whoever can make the least amount of mistakes, and it looks like that is the big one of this battle. Here we go, Jeff coming into OZ5 there. A little bit of left foot brake, it seems like. Sets him up really good to go into that last outer zone. Coming across the line, smoke the tires out.
Yep, finally some presence from Eric there in the chase across the last 2 zones, but that's not going to be enough.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so after that straighten. I mean, that we're going to have to see where fault is placed on that, but I didn't necessarily see anything on my end that would make me think that Jeff potentially has the fault there.
I really wanted to see Jeff closer.
In his
That
chase?
was the second chase where I was like, well, where are you,
I mean,
Jeff?
maybe Jeff was just playing it conservative because Jeff is driven with Eric throughout the rest of the season.
He knows him.
Jeff knows Eric's driving, and also, I mean, Eric's been a little inconsistent so far, given that chase run and a couple other runs.
Well, even with
so
Forrest, he was giving him space. I just don't expect that out of Jeff.
Yeah, it's one of those things too where he's having could be a gearing thing coming out. If you're in first gear or second gear coming through here. But I will say that BMW, that tactic of really parking it and then straightening out, big clutch kick. You said he has a 6.0 in there. He's got plenty of torque.
Right.
He's able to keep the car sideways while kind of playing some games in the lead there. So it's not something where I don't really fault Jeff for falling a little bit far back there, because when you're basically doing a straight line burnout in front of him, it's really hard to make up that angle. But
Correct.
It's one of those things where it could just be how that car drives too, not necessarily bagging on that driver at all. It's just a little bit hard to follow when it's a little bit wishy-washy. Here we go.
Nice
An
early
exciting
feint
driver
by
to
Maverick in the lead.
Yeah, he's having there we go, Jake, a little bit wide on there. And look at that. That perfect outer zone 1 is what we're seeing from that Miata pretty much every time. And then he just stuffs it in every zone. This is going to be super easy for Jake to follow. A nice wide lead line. Here we go. That proximity is good. That angle mimicking is great. You know, both of these drivers putting on a clinic here. And that Miata doing a great job, except for, the entry I think left a little bit to be desired.
A little bit.
But after that, just absolutely railing it.
Punching those cones across the last zone.
There we go.
Beautiful, consistent chase or lead run there. And also, you have a good lead run, then that gives the chase driver a better window of opportunity to lay down a solid chase.
Exactly.
And Jake did have a pretty solid chase there.
You know what we need to see here? We need to see a backy from Jake. That will really be what could set it apart. And here we go, good angle. He's way wide
and bogging down
off of that clip. So here's one thing. That Miata had it was very, very hard for him to follow that line. You could say that he got a little bit greedy there, but he was trying to stay back, and then Jake pretty much at 0 mile an hour as far as on that way off that outer clip. I really hope they watch.
I didn't see the greed. I think that was like a reasonable response to where that
I hope the judges watch the live stream and are able to see that and potentially hear our commentary from that zone there, because you obviously see the clear straighten from the Miata at ground level, but being able to watch that and say, oh wait, that was caused by the lead driver being 3 cars off of the inner clip and completely stopped. So
we were told that the judges are in the middle, they're watching on track, right? And then they are also watching the live stream.
Yes.
And backing up if they need to.
Yep. Yep.
The judge is making their decision.
Man, hope for a long pause out here.
They're pouring over the live stream.
Driftman said, oopsie.
And welcome to all the new people that have tuned into the live stream. We are Ultimate Drifting Challenge out here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. We've got our 215 season finals going on right now. So these guys are out here competing for cash, competing for roll cage, competing for other incentives and prizes, and also a 10-day trip to Japan. Thank you to Drift Japan.
Yeah, shout out Cage Kits. I wish the boys could be out here. They're supporting me with my car, so I really appreciate them. Sent me a cage out, custom scanned one of my cars.
Sweet.
Obviously nobody has the coupe version, so scanned it, designed me a cage, sent the cage out. Big ups to them, and also supporting your guys' series is super dope.
They came out and were present for the Idaho round that we did, and it was awesome getting to chat with the whole team and do some interviews and just spend the weekend with them.
All dope guys out there out of Utah. Here we go. This next battle, it looks like it is going to be Dune in the lead, Nate giving chase. Both of these drivers driving absolute missiles. So
Yes.
I'm hoping to see a door or two on
one I've
this.
ever seen
Yeah.
one.
I hope so.
That
If
Z
there's
is
going to be
scary,
doors in
man.
any of these battles, it should be this one.
We talk about out here when people are driving crazy, we call it football helmet Z kids because that's just the
big bash bar on the front end.
big bash bar on the front end. Watch the Adam LZ Z build when wants to
When
go
he did
drive
the
like
rocker,
that.
the
Yep.
slides on the side.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then they go out. They got 2 Mishimoto oil coolers, and you're like, yeah, this dude's gonna crash into somebody, but in a good way. In a good way, Nate. We love you out here. I love seeing you drive out here. Here we go. Dune in the lead. Nate giving chase. Dune, big flick, loads up that suspension. E-brake pull to get it sideways, able to float it through a little bit off of that inner, but super deep on that outer.
A little shallow there, though.
Yeah, I don't love that lead from Dune, but I also big mistake in the chase there, not being able to necessarily follow that. So kind of a wash there on lead to chase, but we need to see a little bit better out of Dune. Here we go.
Both of them with
Lights
a little
off.
bobble into OZ4, a bit shallow there, missing that entire zone.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's finally in a zone, parks it in front of him. That's a weird one. That is a weird one. I'm going to watch this back on my live stream. So it looks like Dune there. He loaded up the suspension really hard, and then almost it bound up because he's out of that zone completely. Snaps to angle here, does a good job.
Loads up. Yeah.
No, that's not.
I don't think that was on. I don't think
that
wasn't
on Dune.
That
No,
wasn't on Dune
at all. You can see if we're hopping on our phones, watching our own live stream back
we gotta
here.
know what's going on too.
No, I really do think that was a big mistake on the chase driver. And you talk about getting greedy. I don't think that was necessarily greedy. I just think he wasn't ready for that transition to load up.
Correct.
Because Dune was driving pretty low angle through the course. So it's something where good leads create a good chase, but as a chase driver, you need to know when to hold back, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Stay back behind that car and give him some room to transition. Because Dune didn't do anything out of the ordinary there. He just loaded his car up before that transition.
Phenomenal job by Nate in the lead there, filling that outer zone 3, a bit shallow into the first portion of 4, but looking solid through the remainder of the course. Both drivers kind of hitting some cones in that last outer, very deep.
Hard one to call there, and we're gonna have to see what the judges are thinking as far as faults from that chase driver. If they blame Dune for any of those mistakes, they may just zero out Dune's lead, and in that case, it could be going Nate's way, but it could also go to Dune depending on how they call that. We'll see. We got some scores rolling in here, and it looks like Austin actually coming back into the fold, 14 points. Obviously, Dune, Jeff, Jake, all the boys out there. Pretty much everybody, it looks like, has at least one loss. So nobody getting the clean sweep for right now.
No, not yet.
And that means we're about 3 battles deep out of the 5, correct?
It sounds about right. Yep, sounds about right.
I got to keep track because before the last battles go down, I'm going to go get my car ready. I'm going to drive in the noon session.
Sweet. Yeah, and there's not too much time for the practice laps. I think we're only allocating like 20 or so minutes per little open session.
I'm running out, dude. My car's fueled up. I got Ignite in that rig. We're gonna go party.
And your hubby said that I could drive his car a little bit today.
I told him to let
I got super excited.
I showed him the video of you driving, and he was like, "Okay, you can drive my car." I was like, "I told him he's good. He's good."
Dude, you hopped in on like a seven car train in her car.
At the very end. I was at the very end.
I thought it was you. I thought it was you driving the car, and I was like, all right.
Dude, I was like, you can do it. I trust you. Go ahead.
Trish is a trooper. I heard from Tim that thing had a loose axle nut in the lead there. She was like worried about it, didn't check it. Loose axle nut in the lead, threw down a perfect lead. Courtney's behind her, doing great. I'm behind, just trying to stay behind everybody because I'm on too big of a tire.
I couldn't even tell who was going on.
We had Kyle back there in a bone stock E36.
Kyle,
it was just everybody was having a party. Austin the Miata, dude, he's a ripper to drive with. I mean,
it's so fun to drive with him.
It comes up on the limiter so fast, really responsive out of a turbo Miata. It's a really cool car.
Very. Yeah, and like driving her car was a lot of fun. It's pretty gripped up. And the only thing I'm going to complain about is the LSD. I know I keep bringing it up. I'm going to keep complaining about that LSD.
And I respect it.
Don't like it.
I agree.
But it felt so good. Like,
it's smooth.
I haven't driven an IS
I'm
in like
dialed.
4 years. And so it was so nostalgic and so great. Thank you for the opportunity to hop in and drive that thing. I really appreciate it.
You're going to like Cameron's car so much more.
I know. So I rode passenger with him last night.
Yeah, you showed it.
And I was like, this is how this car should feel from the factory.
It feels so good.
So good.
It's such a fun car.
So good.
I think Simon's a little bit jealous.
Of what?
Simon wants to drive that car. Simon wanted to drive that car.
I'm actually
he said,
so
hey,
good.
let me borrow this.
280 horsepower, dude. So sick. Dude.
Yeah.
He said, let me borrow this for comp. And Cameron said no.
I said, let me borrow it for comp. And I told him the pay breakdown. I said, if I don't win, like the lower I place in the comp, the more I pay you for running the car. But if I win the comp, it's free.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really.
That's a good trade-off.
I'm a big gambler,
That's a
dude.
good
A little
barter.
addicted.
I like that.
So we'll see. And I
like
love driving
that.
comp when there's stuff on the line. So
It's touchy. It's very touchy. He'll tell you. He'll tell you.
we have a
The
love
steering inputs
relationship. There's just a lot of hate there with me and Cameron.
They be beefing.
It's a good time. No, it's a great time. It's a great time. Cameron's a great dude, and he built a really cool car. So you'll like driving it. I do warn people that that front end is. You can see it when he drives. It's really twitchy.
Yep,
and
that's what he said to me.
There's a lot going on.
A lot of correction there. He needs to. It's hard. It's not necessarily a set and forget car. So.
No, that's like how my vet is. It can be pretty twitchy. The closer you get to lock, then you can kind of start to set it. But it's still like any little correction of that steering wheel, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it, and
Okay, so you're ready for it. You're ready for it.
Yeah.
And so you have points trickling in. Looks
The
like
vet
in
is
first
violent. It's a
place.
very raw car.
Nice.
How I have it set up.
That's what I like.
Yeah. You would love driving my vet, dude.
I'll come down to
Come out to
ABS, go
SoCal.
drive your
Come out to
guys'
ABS.
stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You'll have to get a ride in the Z4 too. It's weird. It's
Yes,
that
please.
same kind of thing, dude. If it falls out of boost, it's just done.
You're done.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to just stay in it.
Yep. Is that car?
Yours
What
too.
motor's in that car?
M52. It's
M52?
a E36
Okay.
motor built.
Got it.
Low compression, big manifold, so it
I
doesn't
saw a
make power
big
until
turbo
it's-
on that thing.
No, it's a 62. It's not
Oh,
a baby
okay.
turbo. It just
Okay.
doesn't light off, you know?
Oh, okay.
But I just got it tuned. Dark Horse Performance. I mean, we talk about he's tuned everybody out here.
He's literally like,
That's awesome.
he's the guy to take your car to for tuning. And like,
In Colorado,
Hands down.
he's great for a lot of things, especially LS's, BMWs is really, especially on Link because he does a pro-am program himself, so he
Sick.
knows all
Yep.
about
Okay,
Link.
that's
And
neat.
Literally, I brought my car to him. It was making I think 407 on 14 pounds. We made like 500, like over 500 on less boost, and then we turned it up 3 pounds and made 640. So like.
Oh, that's spicy.
He was able to wake my car up a ton, and it was never able to light off third like it does now. And now I'm one clutch pick away from breaking axles.
Yeah, you need to take me for a ride in that thing later.
We'll go for, if we have time at noon.
Yeah, if we
I'm
have
going
time.
out right now. You know.
that you're gonna.
I was gonna say we might have to
we
keep the
still
show
got battles.
rolling,
Yeah,
so
we
we'll
have to
do it
keep the
later.
show
We got
rolling.
time to drive after
Later,
this, you know.
Well, looks like we got another battle.
Here we go. Do we have all the scores dropped in?
We do. Dune in first place with 17 points.
Dune,
a
that's the
three-way
dog
tie
right there, dude.
with 14 points each. We got Nate, Chester, and Austin, and then another three-way tie with 12 points each. Jeff, Jake, and Forrest. And then 8th place, Eric Kegney with 11 points, and 9th place, Levi Waite with 6 points.
Levi having a hard time out there. Let's see if we can turn that around here. Driving against someone he's familiar with driving with. And, you know, these guys had a little bit of contact in practice, I think. Forrest got a tap from Levi in practice.
Yep.
But shout out to Dune and all the dudes in the top 4 right now, really pushing the envelope here. Let's see if Levi Waite can get his entry down. Super mellow e-brake drag entry, but puts
Very
the car
smooth,
exactly
very
where
fluid,
it needs to be.
right where it
That's
needs
the
to be.
consistency we normally see out of Levi. It's not something that'll blow your socks off, but he's in the right zone every time. Forrest hanging back. He knows that Levi was a little bit sketchy on some of his runs, so now let's see if he can get in there. Levi doing a great job filling that zone, especially from that drone angle. Nice flick into outer zone 4 there and coming through. Forrest able to start catching up there, but man, that's a different car. It's a different driver, different car, man. Levi really showed up for that one, and
He did.
You could see that it's still Levi because of that initiation, but the rest of that course I think was really.
I think he finally
really
did
nice.
exactly what he needed to do.
And that is one thing that Levi can do. He can adapt. He is a super consistent driver, bunch of seat time, knows what to do. But somebody who's almost never off the mark here, Forrest. A little bit of a flick, a little bit of an e-brake drag. He's kind of mimicking Levi's initiation there. And here,
Great proximity.
Levi taking out that candlestick cone.
Arguably a better fill of OZ1 there.
Dude, and look at this. Forrest is right there in the lead. Levi giving chase, trying to keep that car behind him. Has to pull e-brake, a little bit of bobble correction there, not necessarily a straighten. Forrest deep in that zone there. Both of these drivers having really similar lead runs.
Yes.
Now out to angle. Man, this could come down to the chase, and this could come down to how the judges want to see it, because we see a little bit more consistent chase from Forrest, but he was never really a factor into the lead run.
Correct.
Versus Levi, closer, had that one bobble. So this is going to be telling for how these judges are going to judge for the rest of the day.
I feel
who they
like
give this
Forrest
win
may
to.
have had a little bit better of a lead, but then Levi definitely had the better chase.
We'll see, but Levi
So-
also had that bobble in the chase, so that's going to be. They did say they don't want to see you being super choppy in that chase position.
Correct. Whereas Forrest just kind of played it safe the whole time, and was very consistent.
Big shout out to our judges out there. I know Cameron's out there being a style judge. Don't know the other two drivers' names, but I've been talking to, or the other two judges' names.
Josh is doing lead, and Benke is doing chase.
Sweet. Benke's such a character, man.
He is amazing.
He's got to come
I
back.
love him. This is his first time in the United States.
That's sick.
Yeah,
I'm
this
very
trip.
surprised to
Yep,
hear
this is
that.
their first time
And
in the United
this
States.
is the place that he's at.
Right place to go.
Okay.
Go see Garden of the Gods. Go up to Pikes Peak. Go see America's Mountain Man. Make sure you're acclimated to the altitude before you go up to Pikes Peak. You can get a little sick up there, but it's a fun time. They definitely got to explore Colorado, all the things we got to offer. Obviously, my favorite track in Colorado here, Pikes Peak International Raceway, a great place to come to if you're coming to the States, and they'll have to come out to AVS too. I'm sure he'd love that track.
Yes, absolutely. AVS is so fun. I love Apple Valley.
We got Jake Fleming in the lead. It looks like that's Chester in the chase there.
Correct.
Starting to learn the look of the bash bars in front of these cars so we can see them on the preview. Looks like both of these cars getting sent. Here we go. Jake in the lead, Chester giving chase. Let's see if Jake can do a big saucy entry, kind of force a mistake like he has been doing. Nice entry there, and actually is going to be able to get to that inner clip here.
Beautiful.
Look at that. That's exactly what he needed to do. Lighten off a little bit earlier, not floating outside, but he's still able to get into outer zone 2. Really nice job filling that zone. Chester behind him doing a great job mimicking angle, having great proximity there. Jake in the lead. This is one of the better lead runs I've seen from him all day.
I agree.
Watching practice, this is a great lead run out of Jake. Big angle, slows the car down just a little bit, but not parking it in front of him. That is exactly what we needed to see out of Jake Fleming. I'm sure the style judge is going to be avoiding that.
I feel like that's one of Jake's best runs of the day so far.
Definitely the best one, at least from my perspective. Look at that, smoke still pouring off of that rig till they come through here into the gentleman's zone. Let's see what Chester can do. Is Jake going to get greedy, or is Jake going to hold it back? He definitely has the ability to hold back here, but it looks like he's not going to be doing so. Both of them pulling e-brake.
And I feel like that contact is going to be on the chase there. He did kind of surge up on him and gave no hesitation, no room for error.
Commentated, I'm
Jumped
watching.
just a little bit too soon.
Didn't slow down enough. Chester running a very wide outside line through OZ3 there, punching a couple cones. Good fill of OZ4. Let's see him transition into 5 now. Good fill, very wide drop in dirt, hitting that little crack there. So a little bit more of an inconsistent lead by Chester in the through those last few zones. Kind of bobbling, wavering, very, very outside where he kind of shouldn't have been.
So I watched this again. Chester slowed way down on that entry. Obviously, it's a game of milliseconds there. Jake is just a baby touch on that Z.
Yes.
But one of those things where I would really like to see Chester stay in it there. I think he could have totally come through that corner and been absolutely fine, and that would have been a little bump, which would have been sick.
Right.
Shut it down, straightened out. Jake actually able to keep the car kind of sideways behind him. Big left foot brake, obviously, to stay sideways there.
That's where, like, on an extended initiation like that, where he handbrakes and sets the car to angle, you can kind of get back on throttle for a split second and then check up on handbrake again to pull the car back and maintain that speed instead of just like handbrake, car's at lock, I'm just going to slow down, or he can kind of like forcibly, you know, still keep that momentum and angle.
And that's a Z thing, man. They can just float through that first corner. You got to be aware of that. And that's as they were coming down the front straight. That's what I was saying, man. He needs to give him a little bit of a gap there.
Yep.
And that is the one time I think I'd agree with the, hey, man, getting a little bit greedy in that chase position. But I like that from Jake. I love the way that he's driving today. He took the constructive criticism and not constructive criticism that a lot of people were giving him yesterday.
Absolutely.
And he was able to turn that into turning up his driving and throwing down some heater laps. I really loved his lead. I hope that he doesn't get docked too much for that contact, although I do think it was his fault. You know, it's hard to say.
In the meeting, the drivers' meeting, we talked about the judge's expectation of you don't need to be jumping in on that first initiation, jump in closer to that second zone where there's that space.
Right, and instead of, you know, essentially quote unquote getting greedy on initiation through the first touch and go, give them a little bit of room. And then on transition into, I guess, from out that little kind of box, outer zone 1 that we're calling, you know, giving grace through touch and go 1 into out OZ1, and then on transition into OZ2, flick hard and suck right back into the pocket, and then add the proximity there.
And they were talking about, too, not being on the front tire of that lead car, being on the back tire of that lead car through that inner clip to make sure you don't have a hard time with that transition there.
Yep. You don't want to be pushing up on the A-pillar.
I love to see that entry with 2 cars together.
I do, too.
And I think if he held onto the e-brake for maybe just a half second longer, was able to float that car out, we know he can get that car slowed down if he needs to. So, you know, just pushing himself as a driver and unfortunately gets bit a little bit there, but does a great job.
Tandem backies are so fun to throw in. Have you driven Affinity Circuit in Medford?
I haven't, no, I've never rode in Medford.
Oh.
Here we go. We got Nate in the lead. Jeff Coonrod giving chase in that K-swap FRS there.
Here we go, and that is exactly how you do it, being super close in proximity in that first corner, but slowing it down. But you see it kind of sets him up a little bit wonky because it's harder for him to dive into that OZ2. And now this is what we've been seeing out of Jeff on this layout, having a little bit of a harder time closing the door. I really don't like that straight line approach from Nate into that outer zone 3 there.
Right.
I'd really like to see him at more angle, giving the chase driver a little bit more opportunity. You can see him, he's kind of running away. It's almost like he's scared of that chase car, pulling angle out of the car and trying to go as fast as possible rather than running the most consistent lead line. You know, still a good job of being in the zone, but he's not at angle in the zone, which I'd really like to see. Let's see if Jeff can kind of improve on that in the lead, and we'll see if Nate can do a little bit better job in the chase.
Nice big flick, free movement entry there, whatever they call it in that lead. Slowed the car way down by being at angle. Beautiful, putting the car right where you should be. Good proximity to touch and go. Good fill of OZ1. A little bit of a bobble through OZ2, but holding it down. Let's see this nice and deep into OZ3. Can he push out towards the wall?
So you see
Nice
he's
extension.
still at angle through there.
Yeah.
He's still at angle through there, sitting on it. You know, a little bit of left foot brake to set him up, but not on left foot brake through the entire zone, letting the car ride out.
Correct.
Nate doing a good job of kind of being all over him there, but he's able to be all over him because of the angle that Jeff's throwing in the lead.
And
that
Nate
big
throwing a little
360
spicy
after that.
360
He's
at
all,
the end.
he's fired up. Yeah, he's going to be mad when he doesn't win that one. But it's hard. It's really hard in the car.
But his car is still. Maybe that's not tire smoke.
Maybe
We'll
not. Get an official out there.
Maybe
No,
it is
it's
tire
probably
smoke.
just rolling out. After that 360,
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Fill the cabin real good.
Like,
so.
oh god, did he
Hard to
just
know
blow?
when somebody's behind you, you don't know always where that chase is ending up.
Right.
Yeah, that's a hard one, man. And it's really hard for him in the car. In the car, he probably thinks he absolutely bodied Jeff because of the proximity difference.
Right.
But you got to look lead for lead, chase for chase, and Jeff wasn't there on the chase because the lead driver just wasn't at angle through a lot of those zones. And again, Jeff is just so textbook through some of these. It's crazy.
He
He is at lock, not slowing down, making tire smoke. I mean, that thing is just so dialed. You can tell he's been driving it all year because that thing's beat up. It's about time to freshen that car up. But man, it just keeps working for him.
I heard he got that car and it was like perfect. And now it looks like that.
Dude, that's how it goes.
He said there were no dents. He said everything was looking great.
That's what a full season of driving will do.
That'll do it.
I mean, he's driven every single UDC round.
Every single UDC round is so impressive.
Oh, and into the next battle, we got Dune in the lead in that turbocharged E36, and Eric Kegney in the chase in that LS LQ4.
A little bit of a bobble in the lead from Dune there. Dune in the chase here, potentially could be in this first position here. Finally getting it sorted out for outer zone 2. Let's see if he can make it out to this outer zone 4. I know he's been struggling with that. Lights off, a little bit of a straight line approach. It's barely a tire on the line there for that outer zone 4. You know, not really setting it up too well as far as outer zone 4, but 5 and 6 looking a little bit better than that.
That looked more committed. Like that was the fastest I think that he has put down a lead.
Yep. He seems he's getting a little bit more consistent throughout the morning. Hopefully he's getting warmed up and shaking those cobwebs off and can put down some heater laps throughout the rest of comp. Big gap between the two right now. Nice big flick entry by Eric in the lead.
I like that.
Doing a great job of mirroring Eric smoking that end.
And you can see he tried to correct that with the e-brake. So it looks like he's doing everything he can to get back online here, finally getting the car set up. OZ3 looking good through here. Dune kind of just hanging out behind him. One car back, great mimicking. See both of these cars light off. This is one car that he can't run away from in the lead.
Very late transition into OZ5 there.
Yep, doing a little bit of a dirt drop in the chase. Gets pushed a little bit wide because of that transition, but I really like that from Dune. Conservative, matching angle really well.
Yes.
And that's, you know, Dune gets a little bit aggressive in that chase and can cause some bobbles. He must have gotten a note from somebody just to, hey, chill out a little bit.
Yep. Make
sure you can be consistent there. I mean, he did have that bobble in the lead, but I really like that chase from Dune as well.
I think that was a great example of what we've been talking about and referencing, especially in the drivers' meeting this morning. Being like in the chase, you know, instead of being inconsistent and surging and bobbing behind, trying to put it on their door, take a little step back and be smooth and consistent in the chase and just be where you should. And that was a wonderful example of that in action.
Well, and you choose to choose the consistent proximity, then you can actually start to suck it.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. And as long as you chime those transitions correctly and you start to kind of, you know, pull out and snap transition just before the lead car, you'll get right back into that pocket.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about that fine line between you know, you don't want to be doing a lead line behind the lead driver. You want to be active in that chase, but you don't want to be so active in that chase that you're sitting there on clutch, on handbrake, on clutch, on handbrake, left foot brake. You know, making it look smooth while you're that close is a really difficult thing to do. And
absolutely,
Doom was able to do a good job.
Less is more.
But more is also more.
More is also more.
Yes, more is always
People
good.
say slow is fast, but fast is also fast. So we'll see here. Speaking of fast, man, Austin in this Miata Maverick, as he's called sometimes, Levi in the lead here. Let's see, every run he's been getting more and more dialed. Let's see if he can do it again here. That e-brake initiation out of Levi, but actually is pretty quick to angle. A little bit off of that inner clip.
Bobble there.
But there we go, out to the outer zone. Here we go. Let's see if Austin can start closing the gap here, and really does through OZ2. OZ3, Levi doing a good job of staying consistent through here, deep into OZ3. Yep, stays at angle there. I like that he's continuing to be at angle through OZ4. Nice flick into OZ5.
Little shallow into that outer, but still very smooth, very fluid. Good fill of the last zone there.
And there we go. Austin just being his shadow in the chase there and doing a good job of staying behind him. He's really doing a good job of being where he needs to be. Let's see if he can put the exclamation point on this lead, maybe get some points from the style judge to be able to move the marker on this one.
Right.
Coming into the lead here, he's going to be doing a flick initiation. You see him to the outside, using the track limit there. Great job floating it in. Comes in a little bit narrow, but actually avoids the inner clip there, so actually pretty much right on it. Into outer zone 2, doing an amazing job. And Levi right there on him.
Right on him.
Giving him plenty of room to transition, but then right back in that pocket. That Miata is so small, he is buried in that zone. Running away. I mean, that Miata with no front bumper is just so short there, but doing a great job of it. And Levi,
phenomenal chase by Levi. Phenomenal chase by Levi. Probably one of the best chases I've seen him do.
I agree.
That was great. I mean, that was.
In that car.
I'd give Austin a very slight advantage in the lead there, but I think I got to give Levi a big advantage in the chase.
Correct.
So,
I agree.
One of those things that's going to be a hard one for the judges there. It's going to come down, I think, to style judge and whether or not they want to give Levi a big enough advantage in that chase position
Maybe
to
one
push
of
him
the
on.
better chases of this morning.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think so. It was very smooth,
Anyway.
very fluid, very consistent. He put the car right where he should be. He was right in the pocket the entire time, just about, and his transition timing was good. You know, no, he didn't inhibit the lead car in any way by being so close. He did exactly what he needed to do as a chase driver.
Too far up.
Correct. He was never too far up. You know, he wasn't up on that A-pillar. He was right on the quarter panel, right where he should have been. And lined up next, it looks like we got the hometown heroes here. Jeff Coonrod in the lead and Forrest Wirtz in the chase. And this is going to be our last battle of the first heat of 215. And right after this, we're going into 235 first heat of the day.
There we go.
Beautiful. We already got 235 drivers lining up to grid. And for those that can hear in the pits, 235 drivers line up to grid, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we got to get those 235 drivers out there. Stoked to see the boys. Gardner out there.
Yeah, Gardner is on rails this weekend.
Gardner's so funny, man. He's just totaling James's cars out, but in the best way possible, dude. And you know that car's been through it. No.
Someone said they thought it was knocking.
No, it's it says the subframe was ripped and the diff was falling out of it. But here we go. Let's focus on this final battle here. Jeff with a nice saucy entry. In the lead. There we go, coming up to this first zone, doing a great job on that inner, barely takes that cone. Looks like that cone still might be under the car there. Here we go, coming into OZ2, doing a great job as well, and Forrest sucking right up there, having no problem getting up to that proximity that we need to see from him. There we go, kind of on that front tire in the shade. Look at that, almost entire car over the paint in OZ4. Beautiful. Great job in OZ5. Not a ton of angle through OZ5, but then puts a little bit of angle on the transition, and a great job through outer zone 6.
Nice. Forrest doing a great job of mimicking that lead line. Very smooth, very consistent. Again, like how we just talked about with similar to like Levi's chase, to where, like, sure, Levi might have had a little bit more proximity, but like Forrest there was transitioning right when he should. He was, you know, a little conservative, like half a car length behind, but just still right in that pocket, not overdriving the car behind it.
Here we go. Big entry from Forrest, going real fast into there, entering early, doing a great job around that first cone. Outer zone 2 looks textbook. Here we go, coming around. This is great driving from Forrest, and Jeff doing a great job staying right behind him. He is an absolute shadow on him like some socks. Here we go. as we come into outer zone 4. Both of these drivers at about the same angle. A little bit of a bobble. Forrest shallows up a little bit when you see Jeff shallow up right there with him, not letting him gain an inch on that transition. That is textbook out of Jeff there. We have some comments here. Nate is the best consistent driver. You haven't seen Jeff Coonrod then. That is the man right there. He is absolutely
Jeff.
on a
I feel
lead.
like their lead and their chase right now, flip-flopped, we're like identical. Like that is going to be a hard run to judge. That's going to take a
right
minute.
before that battle said make the last run the best, and he definitely was trying to. That was Sauce on the lead there, but
that was great.
man, if I was a judge, that would be a hard one.
Yeah, it would.
Jeff
really
Jeff was on rails through that whole thing, and really chase for chase. I think Jeff definitely got that one.
Yep.
Oh, and here we go. We got some 235 boys out there. M3 Daddy pulling up to the grid.
Mr.
You guys
Tyler.
can see.
M3
Daddy.
Daddy.
Questionable usernames out here. UDC, man. Not any worse than some of the stuff we got out here, but yeah, you see those 235 drivers coming with their spare tires, with their jacks, setting up a hot pit in what we call our bus stop here. So
The bus stop,
just to the
okay.
left of where you can see in your screen right now, all of these drivers are pulling off to set up their hot pits. We got some judges maybe coming in to grab a water or coffee or something. If you guys are in the pits and you haven't checked out, you know, La Tapatia, Mateo's, the coffee shop we have out here, go support them for coming out here. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Great food all around. It is always a blast coming out here because we got the, I think we got the best.
That was like one of the
facility out
best
here.
Philly cheesesteak sandwiches I've ever had.
Dude,
It was amazing.
He
I'm
was-
hooked on it. I
he
want
was
another one today.
advocating for
I'm hooked on it.
Breakfast is coffee at the coffee stand.
Yep.
You get
With
a
the muffin,
burrito-
the pumpkin muffin that she's
You
got
get a-
over there. Oh man.
burrito for lunch from La
Loving it.
Tapatia.
Okay.
Dinner at Mateo's.
All right. I'll follow that today.
Every
All right.
time, dude. Steak burrito.
I haven't had the
light on
burrito
rice,
yet.
dude.
Oh, okay.
Smacks. That green salsa they got, delicious. Here we go. Forrest pulling back into the pits here. Excited to see this 235 class. There's some drivers that I haven't seen out there yet, so excited to see.
What's our driver
how everything
list?
looks.
Do we have that somewhere?
Yes, I do. Our
Nate
driver
pulled
list.
Right back out to
Yeah,
grid,
Nate's
so
doing
he's gonna
215
do-
and 235.
It's crazy. He ran all of those, and now he's just gonna
Same
jump
with
right
Chester.
back into it.
Do we have a
And Eric.
score from Dune there? That's a. Yeah, I'm looking at the scoreboard here. It looks like we have Forrest with the win over Jeff. Crazy
And a
work from the
three-way
judges there.
tie currently with those points, how they sit. Oh, four.
was a hard
There's
call.
4 drivers with 19 points.
That's
Interesting.
crazy.
I wonder if
That's
that's
a
just
tough
not updated yet, hopefully.
I don't think it is, personally.
But there is also one more heat. It can happen, right? There's one more heat to differentiate points as well.
So do these? I'm new, obviously, to UDC, and I think
Yes.
a couple viewers are too. So in this first qualifying, do these points then transfer over into the second round? And
Yes.
it's cumulative between both?
Yes.
Okay.
And then based off of the 2 dictates whether or not they make it into finals. And then in finals, they go back to 0 points.
Okay, so in finals, it resets.
Correct.
Correct.
Done.
Yeah.
All right, that's dope.
Yeah.
I like it. I like this format, man. It's neat.
I
stuff.
love it. And the hot laps, I mean, they get so many laps.
Yeah,
so
my car
many
wouldn't make
laps.
it. It'd get hot.
I mean,
got hot
you're
too.
getting.
Your car got hot?
I think
Really?
my intake was just,
It don't even
was
make no
cooked.
power. That's crazy.
I know, right? I thought that was my advantage. I have no power. I was gonna be great. No.
Are you on stock intake box or is it aftermarket?
I like aftermarket
With the heat shield?
I have
Hot air intake in that rig.
A
bro.
hot air intake, especially on
in that
those,
with
rig.
yeah.
no heat shield,
Crazy.
and that hasn't been in it. It wasn't an issue, so I'd get a chase, and I'd be like bogging down in the chase. And I'm
Forrest out here being a
something's weird.
goober
Then I do
in
a
the
lead,
chat.
and I'm fine. I think I got it to cool enough, like running a lap. I was getting it cooled down enough, and then the second lap, I'm fine. First lap after sitting on grid, not happy.
Questionable rig
was weird.
setup from Caitlin here.
It was very questionable.
Man, excited to get into this 235 class. A lot more
Yes.
grip out here, and you're going to see a lot of people,
They're gonna be pushing.
diving out of that first corner. This is where you can really throw the backies. It's hard to have a rear grip bias setup when you're out there,
Right.
out there on a 215, but now on a 235, a lot of people
This
are
should
gonna
get
be
real
throwing backies
spicy.
out here. I really hope that the style judge, Cameron, is listening, and he's going to be trying to reward some exciting driving as we come through in these leads.
I mean, Cameron's a big fan of style, so I definitely expected him to be the style judge.
Yeah. Glad that he's got an eye for that.
If I don't do a big enough feint, I get judged hard.
Good, as you should.
As I should.
Don't
as
suck.
I should.
Don't try harder,
Maybe,
just
dude,
do better.
Maybe he'll lower that IS 300 and
Always.
get some style of his own, you know?
He's got all his body, every single piece of his body kit gone right now.
Why?
No front bumper, no rear bumper, no side skirts.
What kit does he run?
Came with the car. I don't know. I get asked about the fenders a lot, and I don't know.
I do like those fenders.
I'd like to get him some KBD, so we'll see.
That stuff
the
is
rage bait is crazy,
indestructible.
dude. I'm just looking at the program.
Trying to be stoic out here. The rage bait is crazy.
Yeah, I think
Are you?
he really doesn't like KBD.
You don't like KBD? Are
No,
you?
dude, I mean, like cars are supposed to be like cool and good, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm all about being like, I mean, it's either like
Authentic
OEM stuff.
parts, OEM
Just
stuff.
say
OEM
that.
stuff.
If you're broke, just say that. I don't know. That's how I feel.
See,
about
my
it.
thing is like, I don't want to be fixing fiberglass, but at the same time,
all
like,
day long. I don't want to fix fiberglass.
Hmm.
My KBD bumper has taken some.
It's all right, man. Style ain't for everybody, you know?
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
hey, your
I
car
know.
needs to sound
I know.
cool,
Some
be
people
low.
drive Z4s, you know, like
pretty dope.
it's not for everybody.
No, it's actually for very few people. It's for like 3 of us who are dumb enough to drive Z4s. But you know what?
Hey, the clown shoe is sick though.
Yeah, you know, it's neat. It's a neat rig.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a little low, you know, so it's not for everybody.
I like the livery. I like the blue.
Thank you. I don't like the blue actually.
Really?
I was trying to go for a way darker blue, but it's a printed livery, so it came out a little bit different than the render.
Got it.
Either way, though, I'm gonna go have to see Forrest about that. Forrest helping out with painting a lot of these cars, keeping a lot of these cars one color out here. So
Sick.
big
Sick.
shout out to him for that one.
I didn't realize Forest paints.
Yeah, I mean, you see all his stuff is all sauced
That is
up.
true. It is all sauced up. Yeah.
After his driving too, you can see like obviously pushed his door in on Courtney. He's gonna have a new door painted for that thing in the next week. You know, it's gonna be great.
Good.
We'll see him
All right,
out here
there's
for
some
some
tit
winter
for tat
shenanigans.
on those laps.
Man, R.I.P. Courtney's Type X tail, dude. Gardner's been sleeping at my house all weekend, and I gave him some grief for that last night. So
Oh.
don't worry, I'm out here
There's
rooting
a
for Team
picture of
Birds.
that too. There's a great picture of like him coming right in on it.
I almost did that in our party lap. I had to dive
Really?
through some cones to avoid Courtney there. For whatever reason, I was convinced that we were gonna all just keep driving up the bank because I forget how to drive and stuff. But yeah, she shut it down, and then I was like, oh yeah, we're stopping here. I was like,
It was a little bit awkward of a stop. I think we even kept like going. Really
It was
good.
awkward. Yeah.
It was a little bit awkward.
well, and obviously Trish having that axle issue in the lead, I think she might have shut it down a little bit early.
Maybe.
Which-
By the time we came back around to the last corner there.
Yeah, we'll see.
While we have a second, I'm gonna step away for just a brief moment. Be right back.
Yeah, dude, run it.
I got a
Don't leave your mic on.
You took it off.
Oh, sweet. Here we go. 235 class, getting ready.
Did we talk about the driver's list? I don't know who that was.
Well, the driver's list, I don't know.
It's in there.
Let's read some comments
Are you in
here.
the-
Forrest says that he's Forrest's #1 fan. Said second to Courtney. And then Forrest also said 22 points, keep it up. That's heat, yeah.
What are the points?
Somebody said nice
Are
to hear
there
Simon's voice today. He's great. I appreciate you, Chance. What a legend. Somebody called you a hater.
B?
Tough.
Like Tim over there.
Nah. Shout out to Tim, dude. Big shout out to Tim.
Who said
Birthday
I'm a
weekend
hater?
out here. Chance Britton.
Yeah, I'm not a Chance fan.
I'm a Chance
we
fan.
beefed a little bit.
That's so crazy. Imagine beefing with people. So
You never.
we're out here.
You never.
Getting excited for this next round of competition. KVD not that bad. Yeah, Chris, it's all right, man. We'll get there one day.
I'm a
It's cool.
KVD fanboy. I can't
KVD
help it.
fanboy
I
is
can't help it.
crazy.
They sponsor me. They sent me a kit.
They sponsor you, get
They
like
sent me-
10% off,
They
or is it
sent me
free?
they sent me the side skirts and the rear bumper.
For free?
Yes.
Yeah, it better be free if you're running KVD. Dude.
Shut
That's all I gotta say. Shoot,
If you're
dang, brother.
broke, just say that.
Shoot,
Simon.
dang, bro. I
We know
am,
you're
dude.
broke. It's
I
okay.
am, dude.
It's okay.
Yeah, these 265s ain't cheap, man. You know?
I know. I mean,
Go fast.
You've driven like 2 times this year, so like, yeah, probably. You know,
Four.
it's hard.
All right.
You drove 4 times.
4 times, yeah. It's sick out here. No more bickering on the stream. We'll be friends again.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hey, shout out to the boys on the stream here.
I know a handful of these
Going
235
fast on
drivers won't
cheap
be
small
here.
tires. That's true, dude. That's dope. Stream no good because no Corvette. Real stuff, dude.
True.
Shout out Blobby, dude.
Yes.
Shout out the dog. Shout out all the Sim homies. Shout out all the Drift Colorado homies. You know, everybody who's out there having a good time. Wish more boys could be here. I got a couple boys who are out fishing today.
Oh.
Fishing?
Yeah, they're like, sorry, man, gotta go fishing. Can't go
Oh
to the
man,
drift
drifting is so much better than fishing.
Dude, on the preview, dude, let's get a sweet shot of I-25 here.
Look at
Beautiful.
that.
The train tracks. I've been trying to buy that stuff over there. I'll talk to you. There's a house for sale over there. One over there.
Oh.
On the other side, did you see there were some cops at the house on the hill last night?
Did you see that last
That's
night?
my neighbor. I live out there.
on the
he's
street?
He's got a pan to my house.
I know you live out there. I was like wondering. Yeah, we were.
Look, you can see our rally sprint track behind PPR here outside of turn 1. Across the street, we got Adrenaline Off-Road Park. So,
Great, tell us about that.
dude, side-by-side heaven out there. The
Really?
best off-road track in Colorado. I'm calling it right
only
now.
heard good things.
For side-by-sides only right now. We're working on trying to get it a little bit more inclusive as well, but we do rallycross out back on that sprint track. Bunch of other stuff besides drifting goes down here. Obviously, former NASCAR oval out here, and now used for a lot of roval stuff, a lot of road racing through NASA, SCCA, and our own events. A lot of just big car show events out here as well.
There's something for
a little bit of
everybody,
everything.
right?
If you come out to a spring fling, a fall bash, Ascend, or kind of our big 3 events that PPR puts on here, and car shows, drag racing, drifting, open lapping, track sprints. I mean,
Everything.
burnout competitions. We got the Summer of Smoke, which has been huge for us. Cash payouts for burnout competitions. We do burnout shows ourselves in the in PPR sponsored rigs. So I call it. It's like when PPR has a pizza party. It's not pizza. They just give us tires to go do burnouts with. So
Oh, there you go.
it's a great time out here. And if you guys are new here, coming out for UDC for the first time, new to PPIR, definitely come check us out. Spring Fling is going to be our next big one coming
When
up
is that?
next year. Oh man, it's going to probably be in
April?
March or April is going to be when we kick off our season.
I'll have to bring the Corvette out for that.
I told you
Dude,
that's
bring
the
the
one.
vet out here.
Come
We'll go get some doors.
It'll be a lot of
Absolutely.
fun.
Cars set up.
Absolutely. I really want to bring my car out here and drive this track.
It's
Especially at a big event, like
It's
a
a
big
great
fun
track to
It's
week.
drive.
dude, it is a
Yeah.
ball, especially when we do our hot lap C-course layout. A little bit less exciting from a layout perspective sometimes, but
Okay.
not as exciting in my opinion as reverse C-course. But it's hot lap layout, so you can just go and
Go, go.
get laps with your boys. Never stop. You know, sometimes we gotta pull the Miatas off track. You know, their tires last too long, but it's a good time out there. Obviously, you guys had some night drift out here where we were having fun. Just partying with the boys, but definitely
And
great.
all right, we got the first battle of 235. Looks like we have Nate Pena in the lead in that blue 350Z and Chester Wiesel in the chase in that silver 350Z. Some Z on Z action. Very similar vehicles, just different drivers going on. So let's see this transition into OZ2.
Nate's car looking so much faster on a 235 than it did previously,
Right.
but
Yes.
it's funny, both of these drivers competing in 215 and then right back at it in 235, and I really have to, kind of congratulate these drivers on being able to switch a tire that quick and just be right back online.
Right,
No real practice in between the two.
No,
just
none.
swapping cars, not swapping setups, just swapping the tire around on those cars and able to get right back into it like they never left. I wonder if they're running 215s still on this one, or if they're
I
swapped
don't
right to
know.
225s, 235s. Got some inside knowledge. I've got some inside knowledge that one of those E36s was driving on 225 Ironman the entire comp, running into people. So if that gives you any indication of who that might have been, but everybody driving out here. Nate doing a great job being fluid behind there, and Chester in that outside zone too, doing great.
lead.
I mean, yeah, look at this. These Z's are just pouring it on here.
Mine are, I'd love to see no correction there coming through OZ4, just very smooth, very fluid, pushing out to that wall.
Yep, could have a little bit more angle through there, but he is right in the zone where he needs to be, so really solid through there. And both these drivers, I mean, two cars that I wouldn't expect to see this high of a level of consistency out of.
Correct.
But I judge people based on how their cars look, so don't judge a book by its cover, Both of these drivers doing a great job, and obviously hearing the story of Chester is awesome. Seeing
Yeah,
Nate out
he
here
doesn't even
all
have his
weekend
license
is
yet.
awesome. Yeah, we had to make a bit of an exception to make sure he could drive today,
Right,
but.
usually here at PBIR, you're not allowed to. And that's
Oh,
like
really?
Now
an
here's
exception.
some absolute dogs, DAWGS
Oh,
dogs
yes.
out
Very
here.
good.
36 coupes are the jam. We've got this is Crew Slides in the chase there. Came through with a crazy setup. I'm a big looking at your truck and trailer type of guy here, and he
Yep.
came through with a setup. His parents, obviously, he's a younger kid here, and then somebody I've been internet friends with for the better part of a decade here out of the PNW coming down and
Tyler
showing-
Fox.
Yeah.
Yep. M3 Daddy.
Man, out here showing us that style's still alive. That thing's so beat up, but still looks so good. Arcade Ultra hood vent on the front of that thing. Proper aero stuff. Big chromy wheels, man. He knows how to do it.
Oh yeah, we love the Hot Boy wheels.
I know, man. And then it's funny. You see, this is the pinnacle of like Hot Boy E36 versus Pro Car E36.
Yes.
4 inches plus of height difference between the two cars.
A dog
Turbo
box
on
in one.
That thing's got a dog box in it.
I'm pretty sure.
Chill
yeah, dog box
out.
quick change.
Oh
Does
my
it have a quick
goodness.
change? I don't know if it has a quick change
What's
yet.
the motor
but
setup in that car? It sounded like a JZ, but I couldn't tell.
It's a turbo M50,
No way.
right? Yeah, it's a turbo BMW motor.
I'm gonna go see what his mechanic has to say in the pits there.
You should.
This guy, dialed setup it seems like, and checked his Instagram real quick just to see who he was, and it looks like he's got some accolades as well. So excited to see this driving here, and excited to also see the style bangers out there. He's gonna throw. He is just a backy fiend. He heard about this
Yeah?
layout. Same with me. He was standing right next to me. We're pushing each other when we were in the driver's meeting, find out about the layout. I was like,
sweet.
dude, go throw a big one. So I'm looking
Couple
forward to
of
seeing
balls.
that. And
hopefully this this crew slides home. We can keep it behind that car. It looks like the judges are deliberating a little bit on that first battle already, so we're holding it back a little bit.
Crew's car is a turbo S52 according to chat.
Whoa! All right. Can't hide money, you know? That's dope. No, turbo S52s are great. They spool up a little bit quicker than the M5X stuff. So here we go, though. We got the dog out front, the slightly younger pro car dog in the chase there. Big flick, huge angle coming through that first turn.
Bit of major correction there.
Straightening out in the lead there, but now right back into it like he never left. Look at that turbo lighting off on that S52. You know, we talk a lot about you put a different motor in an E36 and it somehow makes less grip every time. But I think it's just because those BMW motors, they get bogged down and they're almost just on the limit of traction, able to make so much grip in that position. So sometimes hard to be able to follow with a higher powered car, and it's kind of where they get their edge. And, you know, just speculation and hearsay. But let's see what Crew Slides can do in the lead. Definitely not a smooth and clean lead out of that Blue E36, and now here we go. Crew
Not
Slides
what you
coming
gassed
through.
it up to be.
Yeah, dude, but you got to glaze the dog. You know how it is.
Of course.
Here we go. Big flick out of that turbo S52 E36, way deep. So, you know, both of them having some problems coming into those first two
way too much angle
and then
slowing down.
Look at that. So he's actually dropping a tire off our big dirt drop right there in the first corner, and that kills pretty much all momentum there. So going to be hard to see who's at fault there on the checkup. But it definitely is something where if you drop a tire off of that, you're losing a ton of speed and momentum, and it's really hard for that chase driver to stay behind you. Good job not making any serious contact from the chase driver there, and good job on both drivers. Fun to see those cars out.
And it seems like, surprisingly, Crew's car doesn't have a whole lot of forward drive in it. He was kind of washing out wide in each of the zones.
It was very, very
4 and
wide.
5, but
That last,
I mean, that car could be so dialed in and so fast that he might have made it almost went the other way, loosened the car up a ton to stay behind some of these slower cars.
Yep.
Speaking of a car that's not slow, Gardner pulling up in the lead.
so
And
who is
we
this
have
other?
Jace Tolbert in
His
the,
car's dope.
He was
in the
just
ACP
throwing
S13.
bangers after bangers.
He
in
is
practice.
also a youngin'. He's like
Really?
15.
Oh, that car
Y'all got like
looks
an age
so
cap
good.
on this comp or something, dude? This is crazy.
Seriously, kid comp.
Yep.
Kitty comp.
No, I mean genuinely, Jace, killing it.
Saying 20 drivers under 21 this year is super dope, man. Congrats to you guys putting on a competition that is getting the younger drivers
And I mean,
involved.
235 has the possibility of a teenage podium. I
Wow.
mean, Rocco Piazza is like 18, right? 17, 18. Jace is 15. Chester is 13, and they're all killer, or 14. They're all killers. They're all sim kids. And
Sim kids, man.
they're shredders.
Speaking of, so there's two types of dudes. There's sim kids and there's street kids. Gardner's a street kid out here in the league. Black E36, white bumper on that thing, out rallying in Montana is where he got his start. And how he's out here driving this Dark Arts Performance, another M3 that James Ford has lent to him. Broke that white M3 so bad that he couldn't continue competition. That thing hopped in a different car from James Ford and is really just getting put on by the boy James.
Putting the homies out there.
Yeah, for real. But he's driving like he deserves it, man. And a little bit off on that first section there. Yep. And you see that S13, S14 being able to kind of close in there, off on that outer zone. This is going to be a really hard course on 235 for these gripped up E36s. It's hard to come out of that slow section, bang third, or continue to pull it back up. You're going to see big clutch kicks out of the turbo cars, big, triple clutch kicks out of these NA cars trying to make it happen. So
get that wheel speed up and really push out smoothly.
Excited to see as they come through the gentleman's zone. Here we go, that S chassis trying to line up a big flick, loads up the suspension and does a good job of flicking it out there. Comes a little bit inside, e-brake to get around that, and I hate that line from that S14. I really don't like that. It's just really choppy and kind of turns it into a V rather than a U. Right, lead there, really hard to follow. But you know what? Still doing a good job. Gets away from that bobble and continues his run there. Running away from a gripped up E36 is pretty tough to do. Gardner doing a good job of closing the door. Look at that transition.
Very close transition.
Right on the bumper. He is no stranger to pulling his full front clip off on the lead driver. So gonna see some exciting driving out of him, but good job on that S chassis driver for being able to make it happen.
Scoreboard up for 235.
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you.
We'll get the scoreboard up there. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, chat, for the reminder.
Man, that's a good looking S14.
It is.
It looks good.
He drove the Utah Toge. couple months ago.
I'm gonna need to come hang out with you guys for the Utah Tow
it
Game.
is
When's the next one?
Crazy.
I'm not sure when the next one
dude?
is.
Shoot.
But it is so fun.
Here we go. Jake Fleming warming up some tires here.
And then we got Rocco Piazza in the chase in that silver 350Z. Or I don't know if he's chasing or leading yet. They haven't even graded up.
Looks like he'll be in the chase.
Yep.
You had a good guy.
Rocco Piazza, he was out here with his family out here, right?
Yep. He's got his mom and his dad and sister with him.
I was talking with all of them. They're good people out there in the
They
pits,
are.
so
They are.
they're having fun here. Always fun to have it be a family affair when you're out here drifting. I love having my folks out here watching and.
You had your mom
cheering us
come
on.
for a ladies' day, right?
Yeah, my mom
Or
shreds,
no,
dude.
just for a drift clinic.
Yeah, she came to a drift clinic to learn how to do some drifting. She'll
And
be
she
out of a
was
ladies'
ripping.
day drifting. Yeah, we got a mom burnout competition that's going to be going down
That's
next year.
cool. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Nice.
If your mom shreds, build her a
get
burnout
her
car.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
She'll come
that's
get
cool.
chefed up by Kyle and I's mom, but that's all right, you know. We can't all have cool moms.
Kyle's mom will probably take the win.
Oh man, we'll see, dude. My mom's
Jake with a nice
competitive, dude.
big
Yeah,
flick
Jake
paint
did a
engine on
great
initiation.
flick into there, a little bit off on that inner flip, but honestly, very fluid. Dude, that dude's doing a great job of being able to follow the line, not necessarily following what you thought could have happened there.
Great transition.
Yeah, man.
There.
Jake's doing a good job keeping that thing in the zone, not slowing the car down too much, but putting it where he wants to be. You see him get out to angle there. Great job along the wall. If I was a style judge, I'd really be rewarding that. But also, this chase driver is doing exactly what he needs to do here.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal run.
That was a good
solid.
run.
That was solid.
And Jake did a great job of through OZ4 through the wall. You see him kind of like load up and add angle and then snap that transition into OZ5. That was a great
right back that
great
way.
job.
I think these drivers are starting to, especially the ones that ran the 215 class,
Feel
they're
comfortable.
starting to figure out the course more and more.
Yep.
You can see Jake's driving getting better throughout the day here. But here we go. Nice loaded up flick into that first zone. A little bit of an e-brake pull out of that lead driver. It's doing a way better job being fluid around that first zone, but a little
Missing
bit shallow
that first
on
outer,
the
though.
first outer. Yep. Here we go, coming in through the second outer zone. Doing a good job through there. Jake, kind of shallow, kind of just playing it safe there, but now starting to dig in. Let's see if he can throw another clutch kick, start making some smoke out of that thing. He is hardly drifting there as far as angle goes. Yeah, not really mimicking, kind of diving on the inside of that. Looks like he heard us, starting to pull the thing out to angle. Just having a little bit more struggle on the chase, but also we talk about a great lead makes a great chase.
Right.
He had a great lead. So
That was a phenomenal, very smooth lead.
I'd hate to be a judge in this situation. This is a hard
Me
one
too.
to judge.
Me
They
too.
might deliberate on this one a little bit.
I think that the Z might have gotten that one. And Rocco got the win on that battle. There we go.
Interesting.
And
This car is super cool. This slide tied
Mustang,
Mustang.
yes.
I heard
The
they have
Mustang.
stickers. I need a
Mustang.
sticker.
I need to see this thing rip. He was in practice. We were watching him, and on e-brake, this thing has so much weight over the rear axle. He can slow the car down a ton when he pulls e-brake and when he's throwing the thing sideways. So
Well, these
gonna
are
be
heavy, right?
super heavy
Yeah, they're
rigs.
big
I
boats of a
wouldn't be
car.
surprised if that thing is a 4,000-pound drift car right there.
Right.
He's going to try to keep it behind this super light E30. So let's see what they're able to do here.
John diving in the chase there in that Mustang on Eric in the lead. And
Doing a great job off rip. Here we go. Being able to keep it behind that E30 that wasn't out into that outer zone. Super low angle from that E30. This is what we were talking about in the 215 class that we're not a huge fan of. Outside of that zone in the lead there, and then the line is
Eric's running a very slow line there, choking up the chase driver. I
This
feel.
is almost slower than he was driving in the 215 class.
I would agree for sure.
It's going to be hard. We'll see if the judges are able to catch that from ground level, but an interesting one to follow there, and something where we talk about that being super choppy in that lead line makes it really hard for the chase driver, but also our chase drivers are going to have to analyze that, stay a little bit further back so that they can be smooth behind them. You talk about a heavy car, hard to get that thing slowed down behind him. But look, as he pulls the e-brake here, the thing just sits down an angle, a little bit of a left foot brake to set the angle.
Good momentum, great fill.
Great line into the outer zone 1 there. Off on outer zone 2, gets in there at the very end, but I like that line through outer zone 1. Let's see if he can keep it sideways.
Another kind of
here.
waver and bobble to his
I was
E3.
going to say, doing kind of the same thing that E30 was doing. Now sets the thing at angle, smoke starting to pour out of the back of that Mustang. And here we go, into outer zone 5, coming through outer zone 6, onto angle as he comes through the finish line there. I like that finish, putting a little bit of an exclamation point on it at the end.
Yep. Look in the envelope. And
That was one of my
nice
favorite
seal.
initiations, I think, so far.
Somebody said bracket sucks. Gartner, big street kid. Yeah, Bennett's in the live stream, dude. Bennett, we're out here at Final Bout, dude. Come see us.
We got Rocco asking for scores.
We're doing some ads, then we'll get to scores. We'll get scores before this first round is done. Don't worry, guys. We got to support the people who support the stream, you know?
Absolutely.
Speaking of ads, I'm going to do a quick shout out to our sponsors and partners for the season on board with the UDC. We got Cage Kits, SoFine USA, Race Club Fabrication, Low Eye Media, Cat Daddy Tuning, Society, Drift Japan, Prisma Labs, NRG, Ignition Speed, TDMI Imports, Street Rivals, J&A Racing Oil, Vitor Tires, as well as Zestino Tires. We got Race Treads on board, Black Widow Exhaust, and yep, that's going to round it out for our partners this weekend. And getting right back into this battle, we got Tyler in the lead. Big break from Tyler. Look at that.
Oh, way wide. Tyler, dude.
Understeer.
Yeah, styles everything until you can't complete the first turn, man. What's going on?
Come on, brother.
Here we go, dude. Tyler back into it. We're just giving him a hard time because we love him, man. Tyler doing a good job for the rest of the course. Now he's on a lick. What's he doing now? Yeah. Let's see what he can do. Keeping it through this, not really super deep into outer zone 4, but it's hard, man. When you have that bobble in the first turn, you can really get in your own head about doing the rest of the course.
All that momentum, and it just kind of screwed him for the rest of the course.
Hard to do that, dude. But Tyler, dude, still the favorite in our hearts, looking great out there. See what they do coming into the other position.
Anything can happen. There's a whole other half of this battle.
And this is Nate in the lead. He is super consistent, so now Tyler can really push on him. Let's see. Hopefully Tyler gets mad here, starts to really rock it out. Big flick from Nate in the lead. There we go. Both of these drivers doing a great job slowing it down through that inner clip. Baby touch that inner clip from Tyler, but he's in the chase, so that don't matter.
Correct.
Right onto the door in outer zone 2.
There we go.
That's exactly what we wanted to see. We talked about giving him a little bit of grace in outer zone 1 and then coming in outer zone 2, and that's exactly what Tyler's doing. Look at that. He's about to burst past this dude. He said, Z's don't make no grip. Let's get him.
That was a close transition.
That's great, man. This is good stuff, and it's hard to keep an E36 behind a Z, but he's doing a good job of it.
He is doing a great job.
We did get a stern warning from our chase judge about being past that A pillar on the lead driver, so that's something that people are trying to look out for, but also, man, sometimes you just got to go fast.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes, you just got to show him who's boss and get up on it. And lined up next, it's looking like we got Chester and Gardner.
Yeah. Sim kid versus street kid, man. I love this stuff. You can tell in their driving style, too. Gardner a little bit less polished, a little bit less dialed, but just on kill all the time. This guy woke up this morning, 7 in the morning, turned over, said, we're dialed. Good. Popped out of bed, grabbed a Z-bar on his way to the track.
Heck yeah.
This is the stuff we love about drifting, man. Just getting out there, being stoked from the jump, and Gardner brings the stoke every single time, dude. He's great to be around in the pits, on track, driving with. Man, gives no hex about these cars, but he's driving like it. Here we go. Chester initiating behind him. Good little left foot brake tap from Gardner and try to get it slowed down, but unfortunately it's not enough. Gardner's got to dial in his lead runs here, especially on the entry there. It seems like he's going a little bit wide. Yeah, Gardner's going to get it dialed in by the end of this comp, but he's got to qualify first, you know?
Right.
And Chester doing what some kids do, right? Being consistent, being smooth, giving him a car and a half, 3 cars at some points, you know, but making sure right at this end here, he's mimicking the angle, he's doing everything he needs to do. This is reckless abandon versus conservative driving, and you know, you can see where it pays off for the conservative driving sometimes. So,
and it was interesting to see both Gardner and Tyler make the same exact mistake coming into turn 1 like that.
They just want to go fast, man. They want to go fast. Both S52 cars. Here we go.
Nice big flick and unload of that suspension there by the 350Z on initiation.
Yeah, I like Chester on that, and look at Gardner right there from the jump. That's what I'm talking about. Right here into outer zone 2, diving in immediately, having a little bit of a bobble, a little bit of a correction there to stay behind him. He needs to give him a little bit of he needs to give him a little bit more space when he's on that transition and try to stay smooth behind him. But this is really good. You see that stuff in that left foot brake trying to keep it behind him. That's a great transition. Stuff left foot brake, gave him the space to transition, now back right into it.
Beautiful
battle. There were some really great spots of that chase.
James Ford says Gardner's locked in now. This should be good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This next one,
Gardner on him like some socks, dude. Yeah, there we go. We'll see. I think the mistake might have been a little bit too big in the lead for Gardner to get the win on that one. And that's where you say that. But no mistake in the lead there. Gardner had that one.
Oh, this next battle is going to be good. We got Crew in the E36 and Jace in the S14. Both youngins, both in crazy cars, both great drivers. Let's see how this unfolds.
2 cars that you got to be wary of when you line up on the start line with them. You know, both of these cars can be super fast. We saw Crew go a little bit wide on one of his initiations, so we'll see if he's able to keep it
keep it together on this one here. Here we go. Let's see if we can do a big flick here. I love that load up of the suspension. Both of them flicking at the same time. Great engine from that chase driver. And awesome whip in the chase there. That F14 doing an amazing job. I love to see it doing a good job at OZ1. OZ2 looks textbook from both of these drivers. And you can see that with that high horsepower, these drivers are able to really set the car up behind one another. You're doing a ton of job and really walking that car through those outer zones. Man, both of these drivers doing an amazing job here. Announcer's curse, you were talking about it, Caitlin. Crew, unfortunately, a little bit too much angle there.
That was just looking mint, though. That was looking like a great battle.
When you're running those set and forget, park it at max angle lines with a fast car like that, it's super rewarding when it happens. But you do run that fine line of being at so much angle that it can get a little bit off on you. And I think somewhere clutching in a little bit there, maybe even like kind of a delayed clutch kick could have saved that. But that would be a big bobble. You can see in those turbo cars, man, the clutch kick will show, especially in an E36. So
let's see how this reverse goes.
Here we go, a clean run out of this F14. He parked it, but you saw, I hate to say the G word, but I might say it, that chase driver was really on him from the get there, obviously trying to force the issue of making sure that and that F14, does have the leeway to be able to slow down right there. That's a decel zone. We talked about the drivers meeting, giving them some space in that first clip. So we'll see what the judges rule on that one, and hopefully that'll be telling of how we see it judged in the future here.
Wow, two pretty big mistakes there.
And we do have some points up on the board. We've got Chester in first with 10th, Nate in second with 7th, a three-way tie for third between Crew, Eric, and Jace. Rocco in 6th with 5th points, a tie for 7th, Gardner and Tyler. And the ninth place, Jake Fleming with 2 points. 10th, John Austin with 2 points. And then Jeff is on the 235 list, but I haven't seen Jeff go yet.
I was going to say, I don't know, maybe he had some problems and he's saving it for 215.
235 grid yesterday too and did not drive it.
Oh,
right?
Interesting.
So maybe he's just saving.
And I will say, if you guys are unfamiliar with how this point system works, if you see somebody with a multiple of 5s who has a little bit less points, like a lot of these drivers are tied at 5 points, that means they haven't done their second battle yet.
Correct.
So they have the chance to get up to that 10-point mark and be tied for the lead as well. Currently, Chester, the only one who has done that so far. And then you'll see some of these drivers with 7, they have 1 win, 1 loss. But here we go. We've got Jake Fleming in the chase behind this big Mustang. That tied slide Mustang throwing it in there. I love the lines that he's throwing down. Man, this is a hard one again. We'll see how the judges rule that last battle, because we're going to have a very similar thing happen here.
Right.
Lead driver really slowing down through that clip, but also this is a course where
that is a decel. It is very clear on giving space on initiation. But if you can,
but I also love seeing people
up on them.
Yeah, I love people dooring through that first corner. It's great. You got to do it right. High risk, high reward on that one.
Absolutely.
We'll see how this one gets judged. We'll see how the last one gets judged too. If we see Jace get the win on that one, or if we see Crew get the win on that one, we shall see. I think that was a double loss from Crew and Jace on that one. A tie down, yeah. So,
okay.
Some big mistakes on both parts.
I don't get the big flick out of Jake. That was sick, dude. That was sick. He knows that he's kind of at a disadvantage, has to make something happen. So I like that. I like the flick. I like trying to be like, no, hey guys, I'm still saucy. I'm still in it.
I'm here.
Making your presence known. Obviously, this Mustang is kind of booming here. And, man, really straight line approach to the Mustang, doing almost a rolling burnout behind Jake. But it's hard to tell on the live stream if he's really parking it in that lead position and forcing the Mustang to do that. So they didn't look super slow from my perspective on the live stream. We'll see what they look like on the ground there. Somebody says we need a Montana win. Tell your boy Gardner to drive better, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
He can. He's got it in him. His driving yesterday was just like really, really impressive.
It was. He was on rails. One of the most consistent guys of the weekend.
Well, in that so that white E36 he was driving most of the weekend. That's a Missile Works setup car. One of the premier car builders out here in Colorado.
Got it.
James Ford just purchased that car off him. Was a seat time car for a long time. Did a lot of drift weeks in that car.
Oh, cool.
that white car is so incredibly dialed. This M3 that Gardner is driving today, a little bit less polished of a rig, so definitely can see a little bit of change in the car that he's driving.
So I heard
there.
he was driving the white one, having some issues with the diff.
Yeah, the diff ripped out of the
Was
subframe.
driving the black one, then got back out in the white one though. What happened?
He put like 4 ratchet straps over the diff and held it together.
Okay, and then now that's just not holding up.
I mean, yeah, there's just, you can only do so much damage to your friend's car in one day, you know?
Correct.
One weekend, I suppose, new day, new car for Gardner.
Poor James.
And then the results from the Mustang, John in the Mustang and Jake in the BMW was a tie down.
Okay.
So, you know, they both had their mistakes.
That was a tie down as well?
That was a tie down as well.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like the judges
Interesting.
are not letting that.
Well, and they really,
Not letting that decide.
I think with the tie down there, that they're saying that, hey, one of you parked it on the entry, one of you made a mistake on the entry because you were too greedy, hate to say it. So that's one of those things where I think the tie down is kind of a good call. It's an interesting way to run it instead of doing a one more time.
Yes.
But it's a cool situation there in which you can have kind of like, no, kind of both you guys made a mistake here, or just both you guys were ripping and we can't decide. Both y'all get the win is a dope format.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and it keeps it going, right? Like you can still get more battles.
Got to glaze the format sometimes.
Oh yeah, we love the format.
The format's kind of dope.
And so much tea time. I mean,
Chris says Cali all day, dude.
Cali all day.
As a former Cali homie, dude, I don't know about all that.
We're out in California.
Santa Cruz.
Friend. Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yep. Way back in the day, dude. It's the dog over here, dude. Yeah. Yeah, except for we're out here at PPIR and people are getting chefed up left and right. I mean, I heard Jeff came out from Colorado and just wiped. So I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
That's your
Chester's
boy,
in first
huh,
with
dude.
10
Chris
points.
over there, he's outside. You can't hear him, but he's having a ball out here. Chester doing a great job, dude. I mean,
He's killing it.
these sim drivers, man. We should have Lobby out here. We should have the dogs. You know.
Oh, this would be a good one. We got Tyler in the lead and Rocco in the chase.
Tyler, show us something. Show us something,
Rocco's
Tyler.
sleeping on the line. Why is there such a big gap there, brother?
There we go. Tyler finally able to come through that first corner cleanly. That's the best first corner we've seen from Tyler.
Absolutely.
Dare I say it, a little bit more conservative on entry than he has been, but able to make it happen really well. Hard for him to set that car at huge angle, but for an E36, he's getting it out there. He's on the right line. You see a touch of left foot brake to try to slow that car down and put it at more angle, so he's doing the right thing. I really like that zone 5 from him, and here we go, OZ6, textbook through there. We'll see on this reverse if he can hold it back just enough, you know?
And definitely a more timid chase run by Rocco there. I mean, we've seen in previous battles where he's been on it, on one, and then this one, it seems like he kind of turned it down a couple degrees.
So is this isn't Chester here in the chase?
No, that's
is it?
Rocco.
This is Rocco in the chase. All right,
Rocco in the
Rocco. And Rocco was over here in Tyler's pit. You know, we were all
Big
hanging
flick,
out
big
there.
snap to angle. Look at that. Good proximity to intercept.
I really like that.
Good fill to OZ1. That's what you should be doing on initiation.
That looked like an FD driver line through
It
that
did.
first corner.
It
That
did.
was actually
That was
money.
textbook.
But here we go, and you say great lead, great chase. Here we go, Tyler behind him, doing a good job of keeping that car right on the door. Look at that, pushing him around through OZ4. Both of these drivers kind of shallow through there. And here we go, big flick out of Tyler behind them. We talk about flicking out to angle before the lead driver does. Hardly keeping an angle on that OZ6. Got a little bit too carried away in OZ5 from Tyler, but man, that's cool to see. It's cool to see people getting pushed around the track, especially these two drivers who are clearly friends in the pits as well, going head to
They
head
were
here.
hanging out. Was there homies?
Yeah, we're all hanging out. Everybody's homies out here in the pits, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But they were, whole family was over there. Tyler was talking about E36s. I think
Rocco got an E36, Turbo M50.
He's trying to put a car together, so we're trying to give him some insight on tips and tricks to make M50s live, you know? So,
and
cool
so,
stuff,
so from what I've picked up so far, you have the Z4, Z3,
Z4,
Z4, big BMW guy, right?
Huge.
Is that your main kind of bread and butter, are BMWs?
Yeah, I love BMWs, man. It's all I've driven for a long time. Was into 240 for a second, FCRX7s for a little while, and then got into BMWs and fell in love with trailing arms, man. That's what we're all about, is just gripping up. We got, Kyle and I, one of the other guys who works at the track, motorsports director here, all about going fast, gripping our cars up as much as they can handle, and trying to drive away from people.
So how do you get excess grip out of the trailing arm setup?
Oh, dude, you have a trailing arm setup. You have the grip. They're
that is
out of the box.
It's
They're
there.
just so good. You can run just about anything down with that setup. Having the proper anti-squat in the car helps a lot. Having a softer rear in the car helps a lot. You see a lot of BMWs out here looking kind of reverse raked, looking like a squatted truck.
Right, right.
And that does help a lot with having that weight over the rear axle and that weight transfer. So
what sort of static toe-in are you running?
I'm not telling.
All right.
You can hit up Proform COS on Instagram.
Okay.
Zach
okay.
Stemis, Proform. He does all my alignments. He will give you my alignment sheet,
All right.
but I'll never tell.
All right.
He's a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a gatekeeper
okay.
through and through.
That's
I got to
okay.
shout out the sponsors, man, and shout out
Yeah.
to NRG and Prisma, a common sponsor between me and UDC.
Yep.
They're always great. Chow always taking care of me.
We love Chow.
Love Jason, dude. He's the man out there. So here we go. Gardner in the lead, getting a little too sauced up on that entry, but able to bring it back around through that OZ1 off that inner clip, but now doing a great job. Gardner starting to lock in here, getting cleaner and cleaner every run. We got Eric in the chase there, making a lot of smoke, but not making a lot of forward bite, man. And that E30 cuts the line quite a bit through OZ5 to try to get proximity. Just never able to get up there. But this is one thing. I need Gardner to slow down here, give him a couple cars of space in that first turn,
Yes,
so that he doesn't just come through and just dash
smack
through
into
him.
him.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is bumper cars incoming. I'm calling it right now.
Let's see if Eric can maintain that momentum and fluidity through the first couple of zones.
And Eric's had some great lines through here. He
Like good
definitely can
initiation,
throw it
good
down. And look
snappy
at that
load.
Gardner right on him. We need to go to the next camera view here. See if we can get on this. Cool.
There we go.
Tough.
Doing great.
No, I thought things happen in the live stream. There we go. We can see him there. Gardner coming through. Gardner's deeper in outer zone 5 than he is. Eric looks like he's a little bit offline there. Unfortunately, unable to get a good angle on that one, but all good things happen when you're doing these grassroots live streams. So big shout out to all the FPV drivers, all the people out there holding cameras on track right now, our start line guys, our crew members.
Thank you to PPIR for having us. Thank you to all the volunteers, everyone involved, even the drivers and the crew, just every single person here. Thank you so much for coming out, supporting UDC, and putting on a show for everybody.
Yeah, dude, this is great out here. We got a bunch of people who came to help out. Josh Jackson, somebody who I know.
Yep, we love Josh.
Always
we love
out
Josh.
here
Nikki Bobby, we love
supporting.
Nikki Bobby. Thank you guys for running the media team.
Dude, all the dogs out here.
Big shout out to
doing great.
Dakota running the FPV stuff.
Yeah, dude, bonkers FPV out there, dude. Crazy.
Bonkers, unfortunately, isn't here this weekend.
Oh, I'm just seeing it on the screen.
I
now.
know, I know.
He's got a channel named after him because he flies with us so consistently. That's basically Bonkers' channel.
There we go. That's dope.
Dedicated.
Getting some knowledge on the behind-the-scenes live stream, but here we go. Two people who have been forces to be reckoned with all day long. We've got Jace in the lead in that S14. We've got Nate in that 350Z giving chase. Both of these dudes super dialed. I'm excited to see how this S14 performs behind that 350Z because a lot of people have had trouble staying behind them.
Correct.
But I know this S14 has plenty of ability to slow the car down and keep it at angle. So should see really exciting driving out of both of these drivers on this one.
Do we have a win on that last battle? Gardner and the BMW took that win.
All right.
Yeah, Gardner. That's my dog right there. Guard dog all day. Here we go, Jace in the lead, loading that suspension up in that F14, flicks it in. Great job. He was at angle for so long, getting into that outside zone 1 perfectly. Awesome job. Transitioning to outer zone 2, a little bit shallow in the start of that zone, but doing a great job after that. You see the car light off those tires, come into its power band. Nate doing everything he can to keep that stock-ish 350Z hanging on. And you can just see the power discrepancy, the build discrepancy here is what is on display here.
Very fluidly, adding on a ton of angle, manages to save it there. I thought he might have washed out there.
Dude, I love that angle, pulling the fronts a little bit there through that zone. You can really stay on throttle, clutch kick into that zone and put it at a bunch of angle there. Looked like what he did, and I'm a huge fan of that. I think if I was a style judge, I'd be saying, yeah, that is sick.
Yep.
Here we go, the inverse. We talked about this just before the battle. Nate.
All right,
Nate with the big flick. He is driving out of his mind today. This is dope to see. Jace trying to get that car sideways and hold on. Jace super shallow through there, or super narrow through there, I should say, at angle. Doing a good job staying behind that slower 350Z. Man, this is textbook for Nate. He's doing a good job. He doesn't have a ton of angle through these zones.
Not a ton of angle, right, but very consistent speed.
And look at that, Jace able to actually come up on his door in the pocket, in the right spot, even with shallow angle.
You see this transition timing, great transition timing across the finish line. Good fill of that outer.
Jace isn't pushing it, but you can tell he's got a lot of discipline. He's got discipline beyond his years out there.
Yeah,
being able to hold that car back. He could have easily dove in, got a little bit excited in that chase, but he kept it where he needed to. He was right there, active chase, smooth chase, and if he doesn't get the win there, I'll be very surprised. Dude, how are we looking points-wise? Points rolling in here. It
Points,
looks
let's
like we
see.
still have got Chester.
There's
in the
so many
lead.
people with 7 points right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they all haven't had scores drop yet. So we
Right,
got
right.
Tyler and Gardner had scores drop. We'll see. Chester hasn't gone yet as well. It looks like Chester's probably going to be going up against this Mustang here. What's the Mustang guy's name? I feel bad.
John.
John Austin.
John Austin. What a ripper, dude. What a sick car, sick build. Does he have more than one car out here? Was he in the black Mustang last time, or is that a different guy?
No, that was a different guy.
That was
All
a
right.
different guy. And we had black.
Yesterday?
Dope, yeah.
Yeah,
Dustin-
John wasn't
Dustin
driving
was.
yesterday.
Oh, that was Dustin's car?
Yeah.
Shoot, those Wyoming boys are something
Dude, he was a
else, dude.
robot yesterday. Insane work.
He's a machine, I told you.
All they do is tolerate wind and drive good. That's all Wyoming dudes do. They're like, man, I'm in a group chat with a bunch of dudes from out in Wyoming.
Okay.
Bunch of the boys out there, and they're super dope. And they just talk about, they're like, oh man, it's windy, it's cold, we can't wait to come to Colorado. They come to Colorado and just drive out of their minds. It's
That's
so
awesome.
sick to see.
That's awesome. How long you been driving for?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah,
Nice.
a little bit less than 5 years. I mean, started like Gardner started. I won't say the words, but same kind of a thing. Started
Street
taking it seriously a little bit more recently, but taking some time off as well. I like announcing. I like being out here on this side.
Dude,
of it.
you're
It's
doing
super fun.
amazing announcing. Thank you. You're kind of carrying it right now so far.
This is all you, brother. But here we go. Justin out here in the lead. Had a little bit of an offline approach in that first corner. Chester able to kind of put his car wherever it needs to be behind some of these drivers that are a little bit less consistent.
John doing a very fluid push through OZ4 there. Good transition in OZ5. A little bit late fill into that outer. Let's see him if he can pick it up. Yep, pulling nice and early, fill all of OZ6 there. Looking smooth, looking smooth. That is a big boat of a vehicle to be sliding around. I mean, that thing is probably the heaviest car out here.
Man, he's pushing that thing around. That is dope.
Oh, he's building an S13. Ooh, I want to see him in something light and snappy.
He's building an S13?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go, Chester in the lead, big flick. And look at that Mustang right on him. Oh. Kind of straight line center punches that inner clip there, unfortunately, for the Mustang. But there we go.
Good suck
right out to angle. You see him hit that left foot brake and just stop that Mustang. Let's see if he can pick up the momentum and follow Chester through this. Chester a little bit deep on that zone, but doing a great job coming through.
Beautiful fill up on that wall.
Both of those cars making plenty of tire smoke now as we roll through the second half of this course.
Yep.
And
again, a little bit of a late snap into OZ5, but good fill to OZ6. Good push across the finish line.
Man, I got to say, Chester could be running away with this one. That looked like another great battle for him. 3 wins in a row would really put him ahead of a lot of the competition out there. A lot of people have a loss on the board currently. We'll see if anybody can hand him an L and kind of shake this up a little bit, or if he's going to run away with it.
He might run away with it.
This is dope.
Yeah, this is sick, dude. Thanks for coming, sitting down and announcing. You're doing a killer job.
Dude,
you've been leading it, dude.
Somebody said hop in the booth. I was like, yeah, I'll hop in the booth.
Absolutely.
Love being out here.
Announcing before?
Slide over one?
Yeah, come here. Come here, boy. Don't get afraid to get close.
Out here kicking Caitlin out, dude. That's
We
my
can
fault.
cuddle. It's okay.
Shit. Dang, dude. You'll get that, you know?
Get a dip.
You vouch for KVD, you lose your spot. That's how it goes.
So with that being said,
dang, I'm getting mugged right now.
Big on the real wheels, big OEM plus kind of guy.
You know what? And just big on just being a hater. You know, love to do it.
Love that. Yeah.
I just that's my water hole.
Gotta instigate always.
I just moved that one over. Yeah. I'm almost positive.
I feel so bad for that.
Maybe this is
That is you.
Oh, yeah, this is you. No, you're all good.
Unacceptable. What is wrong with you?
We could have gotten cooties, bro.
Goodness.
All right, questionable. Crew slides out here, and I think that's Jake in the lead there. They're going to be getting sent off. Both cars set up as definitely competition cars only.
Yes.
Neither of these cars with too crazy of a style, but both of them with cool liveries, actually. Liking both of these rigs. Jake doing a good job on that flick. Look at Crew behind him.
Proximity and
There we go.
mirroring that on. Oh, look at he's on him, on it. Jake kind of parking him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jake really slowed down there. He can't use that tactic against Crew. Crew's got all the power of that turbo SCD2 behind him, can light that turbo up
Exactly what that lead car is doing.
And look at that. Both of them doing a great job into OZ4. But Crew comes in there, and Crew's just making his presence felt. And I don't know if he's driven with Jake before, but he kind of had his card pulled there. He knew exactly what he was going to do. A little bit straight as they come across the finish line. Ended it a little bit early, in my opinion, but still not a huge deduction there, if at all.
Right, and I feel like if Jake can't really glue it to him, as Crew did through the touch and go through OZ1 and 2, he might be at a deficit here.
Jake's going to push too hard right here. I can already see it through the run-up. But let's see, because Crew is faster here, so he might get away with it. You see Jake pulling some e-brake there, trying to get into him. Yep, bumps him right there.
Yep.
Man, I can do this in my sleep. Here we go. Crew in the lead there in OZ2. I can see Jake getting excited there, coming down the run-up. You saw him over there on that left-hand side. Crew textbook through OZ3. Absolutely.
Look at that tire
out.
smoke.
He's touching left foot brake to stay in that zone extra deep. This is one of the best lead runs we've seen so far.
Yes.
All the way out into outer zone 5, outer zone 6, looking great too.
Phenomenal.
Jake just not having it for him there, and I think he slowed down a little bit after that touch. So he was doing a good job of trying to make it through, not really impede that lead driver.
Correct.
Huge shout out to Crew staying in it after that contact too. That
it didn't
contact
even
on
phase
the first
him.
corner is a hard one to drive through, but he's doing a great job.
Yep.
What a heater, dude. I need to go hang out with this Crew kid after this live stream's over.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all of our track staff putting cones back, making sure we can see who gets too deep in all those zones.
Yes, thank you very
Shout out to all
much.
the boys helping out. Look at them do their...
Give the drone a wave.
They can't see him out there. They can't hear us. We're only projecting on the...
they can just about hear us, maybe.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Man, what a hoot so far today. This has been very entertaining. Love to see the chaos. Love to see the little bumps and pushes here and there. You don't want to be there?
Dude,
you're great too.
Hate it, hater.
Come on now.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Watching.
I'm taking a break.
Shout out Proform.
Goodness.
Shout out Proform. Shout out Zach Stammis, dude.
What is Proform?
The alignment guy out here.
Oh, okay.
If you're getting an alignment in Southern Colorado and you're not going to Proform, you're just wrong.
Got it. All right.
If you're up in Northern Colorado, After Hours Auto Sport is a great place to go too.
Okay.
If you're trying to get some work done there, James Ford tuning out of After Hour Auto Sports, one of their locations as well.
They build pro cars.
And we got Gardner in the lead, Tyler in the chase, both of them in M3s here.
Here we go. Gardner a little bit off on both of those, running a wacky line here.
Very interesting.
Speaking of, this is not a pro car that they've built, but a car that has been touched by a lot of homies up there in Northern Colorado.
Just getting passed around, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Nate Diaz working on that car, or driving that car, as well as Gardner in there. Come on. So Guard Dog out here.
The Hot Boy versus the Missile here.
Trying to make it, dude. They be creating missiles out there with, me and James were driving the other day, and I think 5 laps touched each other 3 times, and like not trying to push each other around too much, but
Yep.
but it's just how it goes. We all
heard you specifically said you were playing bumper cars.
I love playing bumper cars.
Yeah, I don't like crashing. I like touching. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here we go. Gardner giving them plenty of room on that entry, and both
Nice
cars
and wide
floating into that. I really like that Gardner gave him some space early on, almost a straight out of Gardner, and now. Come on,
a little bit of a bobble
use
from
some
Tyler in the lead
Let's
there.
use some left foot brake here and maybe get positioning going. Both of these guys are driving like the E36s that you see out there, partying, having fun, really trying to touch doors rather than running the most smooth line.
Correct.
But both of them, by the end of the course, really getting dialed in. I'd love to see a little bit later today both these cars driving more consistently.
Absolutely. I completely agree. They, like you said, they're kind of, a little inconsistent at the very beginning. By the time they get out through like OZ2, OZ3, then they're really reeling it in. If they can kind of improve on that and get that entry dialed in, get the touch and go good, then that'll really help them, because both of them have been kind of taken almost like a V line on initiation, and they're missing inner clip a little bit, pushing out too wide, kind of dirt dropping in most scenarios.
Missing the inner clip a ton out there. Those are the dogs. I'll call them out for it. I did the same thing to Jake about driving slow. It's because of the dogs. You gotta hold them to the highest standard possible, and I know how good they can drive out there. Big shout out to Converse. And all the
got the
homies
shoe
out
cam
there
right
in
there,
in the FPV station we got on the roof above us here. Looks like we've got, is that Chester out there?
That's Rocco,
and then Eric, and
Eric. Yep.
I really liked Rocco's lead the last time he came out.
Me too.
That initiation
just that big
was
baller
butter.
pro line.
Yep.
Just nice big flick, snap, getting all that momentum and really loading the car up into initiation as you should, as we talked about.
Absolutely. We talk about, having a cool flick, getting those style points out of Cameron.
Right.
You're going to have to do something cool if you're driving the Z to get those style points. Here we go. Another big flick out of Rocco.
Clutch kick.
Exactly what we're talking about. Little bit of a correction to get around there, and that's
skimming into OZ1, looking good.
Exactly what he needs to do. And Eric is making his presence felt as he is out behind there. Rocco
dialed in that lead there. Here we go as he comes through. A little shallow on there, but I think he needs that to be able to build that wheel speed coming through the outer zone 5 and 6. And you see him out there in outer zone 5
snappy
and 6.
transition and chase there, very early almost, kind of very offline there. Threw him off the last 2 zones.
It almost looked like he was in too low of a gear, like if he was in second running out of wheel speed there and just couldn't follow that same wide line the Z was taking. You will get that if you have a little bit too much grip in the car.
I don't know what it is about that E30. It seems like a very just kind of like lazy car. I don't know what it is. Maybe he needs to kind of get that wheel speed up and drive a little faster. But even like his transitions, is just kind of dogging on transitions.
Interesting. You will
look at understeer.
A little bit of understeer. It looks like
Rocco's gonna pass and keep on going.
Man, burst passes are dope. Here we go. Yeah, you talk about we talk about a lot, putting a different motor in a BMW can make it a little bit slower, and it's almost when you light the tires off too quick, they lose a little bit of that forward drive that they have.
Got it.
Especially
so it's all about the ratio of mechanical of powertrain grip to mechanical grip. It's got to kind of walk that fine line.
You would have to talk to the car setup guys, man. I don't know too much about that. I just know how to break stuff, you know. But in that E32, having that kind of an inferior suspension design in an E30, hard to make rear grip out of those things. And with BMWs, you drive out of the rear a lot. So you don't really need a ton of front grip. That doesn't have a trailing arm. That's an E30. That has a beam style suspension. Yeah, it's got the goofy stuff, dude. Yeah,
that is right.
We call that E30 rear is just what we say. Really hard to put toe in those cars. Really hard to get your alignment dialed unless you have some eccentric tabs welded in, and even then it's only a little bit of adjustment. So hard to make those cars have the same forward bite that a 3646 chassis has. You know, have the traditional trailing arm BMW setup.
Do you prefer 36s over 46s?
I love them. I love them all.
Okay.
I think Z4s are king because they're short wheelbase, but other than that, they're all great cars. They're all the same rear suspension design for the most part. Here we go.
We got Chester in the lead, Jace in the chase.
Man, dirt drop out of Chester, but able to keep his line going great. Jace did a good job following him all the way out to that big outside line he was taking. Man, Jace is looking dialed.
Yeah,
you know, in practice, I was like, man, who's that car? I haven't really seen it all weekend. He hasn't really been driving.
He's only driven today. Just came out and popped off.
Yeah, just you know what? No need to spend money on those
yesterday. He did some
practice yesterday. Yep, I'm wrong.
Oh, welcome back, Caitlin.
Jump back in.
Jump back in.
Hi, guys.
Back on the mic, dude. See ya. Shoot, dang, brother. Jace is on a rip.
Yapping a bunch yesterday took it out of me.
And where are we at on points? How far in are we right now? Let's see. So we got currently, as of right this second, Chester in first with 15 points. Tyler in second with 14 points.
Right now?
Here we go. We are good. Jace in the lead, a little bit wide on there. Again, dirt drop to Chester, but both of them not letting it affect them.
This may be another one of those runs where it's just a mimic back and forth where they did almost the same lead, same chase.
You'll see in similar situation that we had with Rocco going against Jace. That car is set up really, really well. Able to drive away a little bit better than the Z's are from him. So I think it's just going to come down to, unfortunately, the Z's are having a tough time keeping up in the zones there and being able to really make their presence felt every zone. So
absolutely. And I rode along in Rocco's car, of course, on the different layout. And it's very possible for them to just get, clutch kick it a couple extra times, drive a little bit more aggressive, maybe put a couple pounds in the tire, get that wheel speed up, and just drive it. And, really, really push on through the course, especially through, like, the wall section. Very fluid, very smooth.
And you'll see Nate does a good job of taking angle out of his car as he's coming up here in the chase to make up that proximity. But it is really hard. It's hard to put enough grip in a Z to make it to where it can keep up with some of these slightly better cars as far as setup goes.
If I'm not mistaken, the Z's will kind of lose grip off throttle. You have most of your grip in a Z when you're on throttle and committed, and off throttle, like, they can kind of float, but it's kind of a wash back and forth. So you're either fully committed or you're kind of floating.
Yeah, and it's hard to it's definitely hard to make up that ground in a Z once you've lost it. But here we go. Someone who never loses space is Nate in that chase. Good flick behind him, and we got Justin in that lead doing an amazing job. John and Lee, sorry about that. John doing a good job. Gets a little bit caught up, a little bit of a bobble on that outside, but keeps it on the track surface.
Nate just sucking right back in.
I was going to say Nate had to take a little bit of a weird line through OZ2, but I think that could have been caused by John in the lead there in that Mustang. But now OZ4, textbook from that slide Mustang. Number 39 coming through outer zone 5 through the OZ6. And it's just, it really looks
it looks like he is just in every zone, on throttle. You don't see a ton of correction. You don't see a ton of lifting.
Right.
Really dope to see from that car. In a big car like that, you have to just set and forget and be on the right line from the jump. And he wasn't on that outside zone 1, but after that, it seemed like he really came into his own there.
Agreed.
Here we go. You got
Maybe
this
with a
one.
nice big flick feint entry on. There we go. Coming in hot. Let's see him hit this inner clip. Yep. Beautiful proximity there. Dirt dropping a little bit. Hitting OZ2. Nice snappy transition to OZ1 into OZ2. John right there behind him. Nice and fluid. That big boat just swimming around. Nate putting a little bit of a gap on him coming in through OZ4. Ken John transition nice and snappy and suck right back up into that pocket.
That looks
Doing
great.
a great job there. Let's see him push up. Yep, pushing up nice and well across the finish line.
That angle match was on point.
Yeah, I really like the way that Mustang has started to kind of change his driving in that chase position a little bit.
Yep.
Knowing
Getting
what he
more
needs to do
comfortable.
behind these cars, and it's hard with that big of a car and that kind of that big of a target in the lead, and then trying to put that thing into the pocket in the
Yes.
chase. He's doing a great job of trying to get, like, push when he can, but also leaving the lead driver enough room that he's not looking choppy out there. Which
And
is a
just
hard thing to
adapting
do.
on the fly and really reading the course very well.
We got some comments out here.
How are
we
we
want
looking?
Rob in the announcer's booth. We'll get Rob up here if he wants to come out here. Love having Rob up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best drift team in Colorado, CeeLo 456. Shout out the boys. Just having a little bit of a goof there. Fool's errand. Always the dogs too. We got dogs out on track right now with our start line guys.
Oh, look at
Looks
the
like
puppers.
They're maybe checking over a car, just making sure that thing's good. It's a great looking.
Oh, and we got feedback from Mr. Eric Kegney in that white E30. He said, "This car is far more difficult. That's why I'm challenging myself this season with it. ... The E46 would be perfect with this motor." Yeah, I mean, going forward for competition, maybe next year consider swapping that LQ into the E46 and just tearing it up, brother.
Dude, hit me up. I got a Z4 chassis for sale, dude. You can go get into some spicy. The CeeLo boys are lurking for Rob here.
Yeah.
They're having a hoot.
Yeah, we got to get Rob up here.
Where's Rob?
I don't know, Rob, if you can hear us.
He was in there for a second.
He was over in the kitchen.
I almost
making
got
some
up
food.
and
He
let
was
him come
whipping,
chat
dude.
with you guys, but
I'll pop out of here. I gotta go.
all right.
We'll see, actually. How much longer we got in competition? Let's check the points here. If points rolling in. Chester still, see, Jace coming up on coming up with Chester. Crazy enough, Tyler.
Yeah, surprising. Top three all from SoCal right now.
Tyler, I saw Nate's score just dropped there. Crazy.
So yeah, Chester and Jace tied for first right now.
Do we have any Colorado drivers in this 235? I mean, we've got
Gardner.
That's it.
And yeah.
Yeah, Gardner's the only one out here.
Going up against
and from Montana. He stays out in Boulder, Colorado, but from Montana originally. So that's crazy. Don't have a ton of Colorado drivers competing in this this finals here.
Whereas like yesterday, it was like all Colorado drivers.
Yeah, apparently we just
Well,
love our
we had a
215s,
handful
you know.
that just
There was a lot of new people,
showed up.
right? And a
There
couple
were
guys
a
that
few
didn't show
invited
up.
to come to finals today that
Yep.
just did not show up.
Bro said I can't take 2,000 for the E36. We'll work out a deal, bro. It's all right. May have mistaken him for Ryan Gosling. The comments are great. Dude, here we go. Crew and that E36 versus Gardner and another E36. This is two ends of the spectrum right here.
This is like street missile versus pro car.
This is like keep that thing running versus build that thing perfect.
Yes.
And
yes.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see who can make it happen, dude.
And
Guard Dog
we're
out
off.
here in the lead. Crew giving chase. Gardner, come on, nail this entry, man, one time for us. There we go.
Please, please, please.
There we go.
Good cross
Nice.
Keep it up.
Finally gets that inner
Get
clip.
it, push out.
A little shallow on OZ1. Here we go.
Transition a little late into OZ2.
Kind of had that trailing from OZ1. Here we go. Into OZ3. Now he's going to set it up. Crew's doing a good job. Crew's one car back, doing exactly what he needs to do. You see him. That was a butt kick. Did a lot off those tires. Now both these cars coming into the OZ5 here. And really, you're not seeing Crew push here, but I think
But he's mirroring perfectly. He's transitioning right when he should, right when I at least expect him to.
Yeah.
He's just right there through, right behind him, playing it a little safe, you know,
doing
like,
the dang
like
thing.
a little car
Now
behind
here's
him.
where if you're a Crew's mechanic, you're worried. You're nervous right now because Gardner's behind him on this run up. You know Gardner pushes hard.
He's gonna lock on like a missile right
Dude,
now.
Target lock right now. You are going to see him get a door if he can get up there. That car is really fast in the lead. Going out wide, a little bit of a dirt drop there. And that's going to give Gardner the ability to dive in on him. Here we go. Push, Gardner.
That's what we want to see out of some exciting driving. If you're driving a stock power E36, you have got to take note
look at
here.
him applying
There we
pressure.
go. A little bit less angle, but
Little
still
bobble,
staying there.
loading
And
up
actually
before transition,
matching
snap
that
right back in the
transition
pocket.
perfect.
Boom.
You can see a little bit of left foot brake out of that lead car. Kind of makes Gardner have to check up coming through the finish line. But man, that OZ4 was so good from Gardner.
And that was perfect technique of just kind of loading up, timing it just right, and then transitioning just before, sucking right back into the pocket.
This is
phenomenal.
This is tough if you're a judge here, because do you reward that proximity from Gardner, or do you go, okay, well, the lead car was just kind of not there on Gardner's run. He had a little bit of a bobble through that first turn. So I'm sure the lead judge, the chase judge, and the style judge are all going to have different opinions on this.
They're all going to be beefing.
Be,
They're all going to be beefing.
And Cameron better be looking at style points for that OZ4 push, man. That was sick.
Someone said make 265 great again.
Hey, man, 265s are the sauce, dude. We'll get. Have you guys thought about doing like a 215 and then 265, like a bigger jump between the two tires? Yeah, we're getting word from the man himself. Bigger tire shootouts.
Yep.
But not the whole series.
No.
Sick stuff. I mean, cool to play with. I love how the 265s can perform. We have a lot of cars out here. I was talking with some of the dudes who were out here on Thursday about like pretty much all of us just put our car on a 265 and then we all drive with each other on a 265. You'll have stock Z's out here on a 265.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yep, a stock Z on a 265, it'll last longer, you have more grip, you can adjust with alignment and tire pressure to get some grip out of it if you need to, but then you get the reliability and kind of, I don't want to say crutch, but like the extra oomph from the bigger tire.
Totally, you have to do a little bit less dialing it in. And here we go, speaking of dialing it in, we got this E30 Eric trying to dial it in through OZ2 here. Jake giving him plenty of room after that kind of sketchy initiation.
Jake's a little scared now.
Well, he's got to be conservative. It's one of those things that we've seen a couple of times. I saw, unfortunately, Cameron go out where he had his car.
And Eric loading up way too much.
Man.
I kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah, you were calling it before it even happened, man. But like we were saying, we saw actually behind Jake, Cameron broke his car and was unable to continue competition because of that contact that was made. So it's something where in the chase position, you're either being reckless with it like Gardner, or you got to be a little bit more reserved to try to get the points. And a lot of these drivers also who are more familiar with the format, they know that it's not about winning the first qualifying. It's about building your points throughout the whole series and then getting to that finals.
Right.
But here we go. In the inverse here, Jake doing a nice job loading up.
Big
cool little flick in there. Yeah, you see that angle tape working out for him.
Good proximity to touch and go. Good push to OZ1. Let's see this transition. Eric kind of bobbling in the chase there, struggling with that.
Completely straight. He's grip driving behind him. Yep. There we go, dude.
Smooth, floaty transition to OZ3.
Hey man, I will say though, it looks like Jake was in second through all that. It looks like he wasn't in third like he normally was, which is kind of weird. Not sure what was going on there, but you saw Jake be super slow.
It seems kind of slow, yeah.
You can hear him. You can hear the leader from behind us. That's second gear. That's whack. If it's third gear, all right. But if it's second gear, that's whack.
I wonder why he's in second. If he's just like out of grip, he's trying to be careful. I don't know.
It's a tactic.
Yeah, maybe it's a tactic.
Go a little bit slower.
Yeah, maybe he knows that Eric's a little bit slow in the E30. Not trying to dog on you, Eric, but it is what it is.
Hey man, you need to get those trailing arms, dude.
Yeah.
But no, it's an interesting battle there. I mean, I think Jake kind of had it off the jump, obviously, with that spin and the lead from Eric. So not anything that's too crazy. Maybe he was just not trying to push it too hard and was kind of being mellow. Yeah, because he knew he already had the win. He didn't need to impress anybody on that one. He just needed to finish a run.
Yep. Oh, yeah, this is going good so far. This next battle, we got is that Rocco? No, that's Chester. Yep, that's Chester in the lead. Tyler in the chase.
Tyler in the chase. Let's see what Tyler can do to keep this car behind the Z. He's been struggling all day keeping that car behind some of these slower cars. Chester, pretty textbook coming through that inner clip. I think he would have hit that if that cone was up. Yep. Tyler doing a great job transitioning almost before Chester there, and now he is on the door. Great job transitioning a little bit late to give him the space here, and now stucking back up all the way through this outer zone 4.
And Chester just
this is Tyler's best chase yet. He's trying to get that car slowed down behind him. Great transition out of Tyler behind Chester there, but Chester doing a good job in the lead to give a nice lead line for him to follow. Tyler taking out all of those cones, making our cone trackers work for it out here.
Got to make sure everybody puts in their duty, you know?
Yeah, everybody's got a job to do, and everyone's doing it well out here. We're a finely oiled machine on Sunday.
Oh, yes, finally.
Just getting better and better. Here we go,
Shook off
Tyler.
all the cobwebs.
I want to see a big flick out of Tyler here, and he's providing. There we go. On the outside of that track, you see a little bit of touch of foot brake to set it at even more angle. Doing good job,
and he's bogging
far off.
Almost a reinitiation there.
Right.
Yeah, that's a hard one. He's trying to flick super big, and then it almost makes him kind of double initiate, like you were saying, and light off again after he's already through that first zone.
And with it being an NA car and just a grippy chassis, you really notice it on those clutch kicks, and it upsets the car.
Oh yeah, and it keeps snapping axles in that thing. He's having some issues with axles being that low, so he might be trying not to clutch kick as hard as he normally does, which could be adding to the compounding effect there. Looks like we got a cone we need to change out even. Are we pretty close to the end of the session here?
I think we're creeping up on it.
Sick. I'm gonna get my car ready.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you guys. We'll
yeah.
talk in a bit.
I got a text from Mr. Maverick from Austin saying I can rip the Miata after comp. Ooh. Oh wait, no, I thought it was that wasn't me. I just saw the notification. I'm like, oh, Austin, what?
Like,
no, that
yes,
was to the group. Never mind.
you.
I'm gonna butt out of that one. That was
Yeah,
for
Ben
Benke, go rip the Miata. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Or Augers.
I think, yeah, so.
Yeah, because Benke's
he's
gonna drive
Cameron's car.
Yep.
Me and Cameron are a little trustworthy. We let people drive our cars.
And Jace in the lead here with Rocco in the chase. We got the battle of the kiddos, battle of the teenagers now. Nice transition into OZ2 here. Good fill from Jace. Rocco is right on his door, right where he should be. Great transition timing, good mirroring from that chase line. And Jace with a very fluid, good wide push out into OZ4 there. Let's see him transitioning. Boom. Again, great fill of OZ5. And Rocco playing catch up there through those outers.
I just think that these drone operators are on their game today.
Yeah, everyone's dialed
These are
so far.
looking great.
This is looking
These
good.
camera cuts are great. Really enjoying this.
Tim, you're doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, great job.
Thanks for being here.
All right, let's see the
Rocco with a nice, big, aggressive sweep in. Big feint entry, snap the lock. Oh, big bobble, big correction, slowing down, checking up. Good proximity to touch and go, kiss in OZ1. Nice transition. Good job to Jace in the chase for mirroring that transition as he did. Rocco's doing wonderful, filling those outer zones, and Jace is just right there with him, not giving him much room to spare. You see Rocco kind of load up the car, add some angle to OZ4, and just a nice snappy transition to OZ5. And finishing off strong. That was a wonderful run from both drivers.
That was great.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult one to judge because they both kind of had a little bit of wavering in the chase, maybe a little bit.
A little bit of wavering.
But the leads were just on it.
Very, very similar leads.
So good. Why do we have to keep moving?
We're moving around. We're dancing around. Changing it up when there's 2 or 3.
Is that better? Do you like
Is this
it?
approved?
Again?
I think he's messing
But
with
what about when another person comes and then we're going to have to move back? Why don't we just stay right there?
I don't think.
You're doing great.
If somebody else comes, I'll just leave. I do hope Rob comes. Rob is like a
Yeah,
wealth
Rob,
of
where you at?
knowledge.
Come yap.
He teaches at the drift clinics here.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a great driver.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Cute little dog butt going around.
He's got a two-toned tail. Half his tail's black, half his tail's white.
Two-tone.
We love a two-tone car.
We do love a two-tone car.
How can you not?
Out the mirrors on the 14?
I might. If I black out the mirrors on the 14, I have to do it on the Vet too, because then they'll both. That's the reason I did the two-tone on the 14 was so it would match the Vet. Both cars have a black roof and then white belly. What? You got money? Oh, add a couple zeros to that.
A couple?
A few more than that.
You said a couple.
We can work something out. Yeah? Oh yeah. Add another to that. And we got a little bit of a delay. I think we're about to start sending cars.
How many we got back on grid?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You saw 6. I only saw 4.
6 maybe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6.
Lined up, and then the 2 on.
And let's double check on the
Where are we at on points?
points. Where
Yeah.
are we at on
Talk about it.
points? So we got Chester. Oh, there's a 3-way tie for first right now. all with 17 points, and there's a 3-way tie, the next 3 drivers as well. So we got Chester. Oh, we just got an update. It is actively updating as I'm talking. Jace is in first with 22 points. Chester and crew tied for second with 17 points. Nate and Jake tied with 14 points. Nate, Jake, Tyler, and Rocco with 14 points each. 8th place, Gardner Dominic with 13 points. 9th place, Eric Kegney with 11 points. 10th place, John Austin with 8.
And then we got a couple zeros on the board.
Crazy. And then a couple zeros on the board. I really want to know what the heck happened with Jeff not driving 235 today.
I'm so disappointed.
What the freaking heck, man?
I really wanted to see Jeff drive today.
Yeah, me
The
too.
235.
I feel like he shined in the 235.
He did. He really did. He's been shining all
the
weekend.
few I've like tuned in on when he did drive 235. It's like pretty impressive.
Yeah, seriously.
I think he just like really enjoys the 215 rule
Mm.
and just like has had a lot to prove for the 215 rule.
Mm-hmm. And he is
Cool to
leading
see.
points by a landslide.
By like double.
Yeah,
By
just
like double.
Yeah, that is
Just super impressive.
wild.
Yeah. So who moves on? We have 2 more rounds, 2 more heats, right?
Correct.
And then
So
we have
once
finals.
this is over, we will go to a break, and then we'll do session 2 qual for both, and then we go into finals.
Okay.
Yep.
Who moves on to finals?
The top
Top
8.
eight.
Top 8. Yep.
Is that the same as yesterday, the cumulative of each?
Yes.
Or 4 from each group?
Well, each division is separate.
Okay.
The top 8 from
Right, okay, 215 and 235.
Yep.
So top 8 from 215 and top 8 from 235
Correct.
and move on.
Correct. And I mean, in 235 right now, we only have 10 drivers with scores currently.
Right.
So 2 people are going to get knocked out. And Eric Kegney in the lead, Nate Pena in the chase. Eric with a nice smooth fluid initiation. There we go. That's what we want to see. Oh, a little shallow to OZ1 and good push out into OZ2 there. Nate not giving him any room to spare. A little bit too almost greedy coming in through that outer zone. Bit of a bobble and correction, but Nate doing a good job fixing that into the next 3rd and now 4th, now 5th outer zone. Eric with a nice fluid lead line. He's gained some speed. You can see through that tire smokes. Maybe he's listening to us on stream, and he really kind of just stepped it up a notch for this
That
battle.
was definitely a faster run than
It was.
most of his other runs.
It really was.
No question about it.
And now let's see how they do switching positions. Hello, sir. Would you like to come talk?
We got the famous
No,
Rob.
you don't have to. The chat is calling for
You actually do.
Tyler told me to come up here.
You do
Yeah,
have
here,
to.
come here. Here,
I'm gonna
come sit.
switch you,
Just
okay?
sit down. You guys yap for a second.
I think you. I know Rob. You should ask all about Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
The chat was begging for you.
I don't believe it.
I saw the receipts. I saw the receipts. They were there. So
Hello,
what
everyone.
did you think of the series?
I think it's great. It's a different format than I'm used to, so it's super fun, something new. I got to drive with so many different drivers that I probably would not have
Right.
if it weren't for this format.
Right. You drove 235 yesterday?
Yes, I did.
235, yeah, okay.
And for those that don't know, which vehicle were you in?
I was in the hatch with a sill front, with pink mirrors,
With the white roof.
white roof. Yeah,
White roof was how we noticed.
that's the lady.
Yeah. And what drivetrain?
That is a VQ,
I told you it was a VQ.
Was it a DE or
Yep.
HR? DE?
regular old DE.
Sweet.
He was asking me and I couldn't tell him.
No, the fun part about that car is that the shell was on its way to the scrapper.
Oh.
Yeah, you did call it a junkyard car yesterday.
The drivetrain came from our local junkyard. Suspension, obviously, you got to put a little bit into,
Right.
but that car is very much like hodgepodge together.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You drove it like it was not
And it looks
hodgepodge
dialed.
together.
I mean, you were on rails.
Dialed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing.
I appreciate that.
I would say maybe one of my favorite drivers yesterday. Like just consistent, full zones almost every single time. You had a few entry chases that you just stuffed, and I was hurt.
Yeah.
I was hurt to see
The
it.
car's doing this weird thing where I know where I can put the angle, and she's good, but that's right on the edge.
Okay.
So if I'm behind somebody,
wondered.
if I'm behind somebody and we kind of have to put on the brakes a little bit, and I need that little bit more angle, it gets jammed
Was
up.
those the exact
Got
same
it.
spot? So I could
Yeah.
tell it was a car issue and not a driver issue.
What front suspension is the car on? What angle kit?
I think it's Villain's Knuckles
Okay.
with stock LCAs and just some wheel spacers.
Got it. So
What
just
I
a
would-
very basic grassroots
basic.
setup.
I think that's the Japanese style of doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, just kind of mod the knuckle and put a spacer
Mod the
on it.
knuckle, add a spacer, longer tie rod, and run it.
Right. Yep. So kind of simple.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun car though.
Good.
It-
Yeah, you looked like you were doing. I mean, you were doing great.
It was down for a while.
Yeah. The problem with pulling junkyard motors and junkyard ECUs is that junkyard wiring harnesses can definitely have some gremlins in them.
Absolutely. I've dealt with
And
that in the past.
I'm a little slow, so figuring out those gremlins.
Wiring is a
plague
nightmare.
me.
Wiring is
I don't like
not
I don't like wiring.
I can wire a chassis. I cannot wire an engine. So it's like.
And we got our next battle going down. We got Crew in the lead and John in the chase there. Nice big saucy entry in the lead. Good proximity to inner clip. Unfortunately, a bit wide there, dipping tire, but still able to hit OZ1 and a nice fill to OZ2. John is right on him. Great proximity by the chase there. Good mirroring. A little bit of a bobble there into OZ3, but both drivers still staying strong. Let's see this transition in OZ5. Lots of angle by Crew loading up with this big snap to transition. A little bit of a late transition into that final zone. I feel like that kind of threw John off
Chucked
there.
it as hard as he could.
Yeah, he did.
This high altitude drone, getting that upper shot, that's so
Great,
nice.
right?
That is so nice.
It really lets you see everything.
I love this view coming
Way
down the
different
pipe
perspective.
too. That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah, we were just saying how great the camera work is today.
John with a nice big flick, feint entry. Let's see him. Oh, scrubbing in. Oh!
Whoa, where's he
Too
going?
hot. Came in too hot. And Crew is going to finish this out with a little bit of a buy run. Unfortunately, that is going to be a 0 for that lead car in this run.
What a bummer.
Seriously.
That was gearing up to be good.
That was a spicy entry. I love to see it. Crew just walking it out by that wall. Beautiful.
Yeah, he gets all silly.
Right.
He's like super serious when it's like battle.
He's like, let's go.
He's coming to say hi now.
He's coming
Yeah,
back.
gotta love
I
the
am a bit
FPV.
jealous that I didn't get to drive this track layout.
Yeah,
This is
That
fun,
big,
right?
high speed, big angle.
to like a super almost shallow, tight turn.
Right.
Yep.
I was curious with this layout because it is an accelerating layout.
Yes,
Right? You
yes.
scrub so much speed, and then towards the end, you're gaining.
Yep. Through OZ4, you really start to push out by that wall and use that big wide zone to then get that speed for 5 and 6.
Not something that's common, I don't think.
No.
in most layouts at all. Ooh. Backwards up.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Push out wide.
Wow.
Look at that handsome doggo.
I know, we were just saying.
Big
Cute
happy
little-
tail.
Cute little flying around down there. Looks like we're getting close
Look at
to
that
the final
mustache.
battle.
That is serious.
Hanging
A
out.
bit jealous.
So is this like a layout, like a format, UDC? Is this like something that you would drive again? I heard you weren't going to drive, and I was super excited that you were here.
I was a bit scared.
Of what?
Well, let's watch.
Rocco
the
coming in
action.
hot. Big, spicy entry. There we go. Leaving Jake behind in the dust, and Jake's going to kind of boof it on that initiation, washing out there. Let's see if he can play catch-up. After OZ2 now, can he transition and pop in that pocket? And he is still lagging behind Rocco with a phenomenal lead run, pushing that Z to its limits, filling those zones. Nice loading up, snappy transition into OZ5, putting it right where he should.
That was good.
Yeah, and Jake is
right
one of the
involved.
drivers pulling double duty. I wonder if he is a little bit fatigued here.
Gotta
He
be,
seems to
just
kind of be
emotionally,
tapering down a
mentally.
little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's the three of us pile in.
Yeah, let's go.
Right as we
See?
had
This
just
is why.
scooted.
This
See,
is why.
Tim, this is why.
This is why.
There we go.
Ooh, that entry
Wow.
is looking good.
That was looking great.
Rocco right
You
on
heard
his
his
door,
dog
not
out.
giving him any room. There
No,
we
that
go.
Slowly.
Yes.
So slow. I'd love to see him pick up some speed.
Yeah, I agree. Rocco's just kind of bobbling,
He's like, come on,
wavering
let's
right
go,
behind him,
let's
like,
go,
let's go,
let's
let's go. And look at it, he's just at that. He's super late there on that transition, over angled. Seems like he doesn't have any grip.
He's probably just out of tire.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think this format's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
You said you were intimidated by it.
Yeah, why was it intimidating for you?
Probably a little bit of self-doubt, right?
Okay.
Comp rounds are like always nerve-wracking for me.
Of
Absolutely.
course.
Do you feel like this helped your nerves?
No, not at all.
No? Even like the repetitive laps in seat time, did it kind of calm down at any point, or were you always just kind of on edge?
I'm on edge. That's just me as a person. I drink a little too much coffee. Type, neurotic guy over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I scraped the whole rear end of that beautiful black Mustang yesterday, and I still feel bad about that.
Oh, Dustin's
no.
Mustang? Oh no. I'm sure Dustin was just happy you're laying down a heater though.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
So when you go to a drift event, you kind of, like an open format drift event, you kind of have to organize the people that you're going to go out and tandem with.
Correct.
Right.
And a lot of times you miss driving with people that you would not have.
Right.
Yes.
In this format, you drive with those people.
With everybody.
Yep.
Right. So many dudes I probably would have never tandem with,
Mm-hmm.
and I never would have battled.
Mm-hmm.
But in this format, I was able to get out there.
I'm pretty sure I heard Jeff say, I don't know if it was Friday night or last night, that Jeff had battled every single person that he lined up. In each run group, he battled every single person.
Every single one.
Yep. And the amount of seat time is amazing because with a normal top 32 bracket, you're getting some practice, you get qualifying, and then you could potentially get knocked out, right? Your first battle. Whereas this is awesome because, we have the run groups, and you're outside of the practice, you're getting 10 laps in the first qual sesh, you're getting 10 laps in the next qual sesh, and then if you make it into finals, you get another 10 laps. Yeah. So that's 30 competitive laps of battles that you're getting, and it's a really good thing, for the drivers.
Absolutely.
But that is going to conclude our 235 heat. We're going to take a break for 30 minutes and come back at 2:15 for the 215 tire second heat of the day.
Nice.
So thank you guys for coming up and sitting down. Appreciate the feedback from you, and it was great getting you on stream.
This has been fun, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. And so, we'll be back in about 30 minutes. Make sure you guys turn those notifications on and stay tuned. Thank you.